feel free for share. Hello, Madam Fatima Kagbo. Welcome, Madam. Welcome. So much to discuss, and I feel free for share. Mr. Nicole, welcome. Mr. Nicole, welcome. Wonderful, Madam Matsuke, welcome, Madam. Madam Margaret Kamara, welcome. Madam Isatuke, welcome. Madam Aminata Kagbo, welcome. Madam Final Mans, welcome, Madam. If I miss anybody now, forgive me. I did come back here. No, share. Madam L. Ruth Kamara, welcome. Madam Jaria Tukonte, welcome. Mr. Ibrahim Ansare, welcome. Madam Aisatu Kamara, welcome. And please feel free for share. A lot to talk about today. Madam Asana Kamara, welcome. Now please help me share, notify other folks then when they come back and enjoy. So I get few things to share with you now. But now we get some commercial first. They put in on a quick pause and they come right back. Mr. Keita, sir, welcome. Mr. Michael Thomas, welcome, sir. Madam Zainab Kamara, okay. Madam Asanatu Kamara, welcome. Madam Isatu Kamara. Mr. Ibrahim Mansare, welcome once again. Madam Sue Jallo, welcome, darling, welcome. A lot to discuss, and help me share. They come right back.
Welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television.
Them say then they fixed in them make we wait. From where them born we dey no more, we dey wait. Just dey wait. Government they come and go and left sweep and debate. Big debate. Another generation don't come me sweep and the way. Welcome to the way. You still no say na boom bamboo you late. You late. Even though man them I chirp and altin. When I say altin I mean altin. All this in them where they happen na the country. We cherry hype and altin. But the man they no begin them bagbati. They don't begin them bagbati. Do ya own no left hand bagbati back take. Na leg go be your body. But the man they no begin them bagbati. They don't begin them bagbati. Now so them go left hand and sabi time done them fail with your body. All man don't stand at his attention. All man want make impression. What see me go say? Watch me back, look how I Becky. Tomorrow yon we don't know. Today on the team mona. Everybody waiting for the miracle like hot colores na fire. Hey, we dey be a no more but enough funny. Occupy we know how government they run. Una been say una know. But una explanation don't become boring. You can make a one for sleep. We dey be a no more but enough funny. Frustration they climb the mountains. All man back tormenting. From one stress to the next thing, he make man them colomenting. Got a man and they come, got a man and they go. The people in life the same. So we no get for tire for complain. Although them don't begin say we gladly. Even a joke than the joke, say we the grumble because we bell full enough funny. Una no get play to a hungry man. A hungry man is an angry man. Now the same boy, now him talk say in 6 months he dey fix the economy. Let's see no more. Now the same man come back and give we back talk. Una been say una get all the solution, but we don't understand any longer. Una been say una get this, it's easy, una mentally advanced. Where all the bookman them way, una been the talk say ready for the dance. I remember the talk where the baby the talk say only the fish a big finance. Where all the idea them, we go make we live like family. Where the rest una the plan, the seed no they grow, na shataban. Una not tell we but una degree, una show we if una sabi. Facility not dey na hospital, till then they diapa we. Una not tell we but una degree, show we waiting una sabi. The economy still shitty, life of citizens shitty. If una quality education make una pikin then can taste am. How long una go dey and talk? Na talk no more una dey talk. If not ordinary talk, by now man for the shop. How man they still get work? Now that they deliver on a buy party pikin. Man them must have make ground soak. Now then they get to walk about on a the pine party them. The kind way safe way man then they handle thing them say lots. See the worker then they strike, then they hold them money they don't pay them. Tell me if una go like, if una then they do so. He don't say where they want bluff. Money for we well body one then go buy motor car.
Yeah, from what I know, the government purchased 30 brand new SUVs.
Okay, yeah, the other one.
No, those vehicles were not brand new SUVs, all 30 of them.
Okay, yeah, the other one back.
Only 4 SUVs for these regional coordinators.
Okay, well now yeah, this one back.
There are no SUVs. We call them Toyota Prado.
Well, and now the Munku them boss. Then why come by packet? You cannot give what you don't have. If you are not, you are not. COVID patient, then this gone, cause then Lego them na dirty quarantine. Nobody don't care, then just go Lego them so that the dirty quarantine. And now the Munku them boss. Then why I come by packet? Put another Munku boy, we want come name area, them by party. Oh, this Munku boy just they take people and them fitty fatter. Don't the police and no SD, then just they harass people unlawfully. Put another Munku boy where they pop and down with gun, they misbehave. Put another Munku boy, he meets bridge can name me hard pan the name. What see the bad they do, he buying power now would a lock and a bootsman too. What in do the soldier man? The one where the people like vote for, where the discipline talk. For the government to carry them after hours. Where the discipline talk, man and don't begin they go work anyhow. Where the discipline talk, some man know they do them work then they eat money no more. Where the discipline talk, then just the bill no more. But by all than they back the man me say I'm of justice. They begin give we back and they back. They fair no that they give we. Time just they go, man and they feel themselves and people they suffer. Time just they go, people they suffer, man then they talk no more. Time just they go, them higher, they talk book no more. Say then they pan walk, we not see it too, we they wait no more. We are out in they go, same thing no more. This now then go begin like and COVID. Say like come and pop them, bump no more. The country na same old same people they suffer. Whoa. Anyone way come go ton we, they no say we na coconutted. Anyone way come go ton we, they no say we na coconutted. The man then don't know say we they go up and down with coconut head. They don't put we inside the ones where then they beat we they dance coconut head. All then sharp bubble entity, everybody dancing coconut head. Sharp bubble entity, steady they dance to the coconut head. It's a hustle, yes so it is a hustle. Every day na the ghetto na hustle, mental hustle. Them boys they running, see them girls hustling, hustle to survive. Hustle, mental hustle. Young boys them brutal, young girls them brutal. Every day man in the brutal, every day man in the brutal, every day man in the brutal. Brutal for survival. Warzone, mental warzone. The kind where man in the think survive and the know what the man in the do. Hey, for no more let man survive. Hey, we know a new definition for the horticulture. We know a new name in ceremony for the horticulture. You know go they do it in you been they criticize, then you want call them change. Man then they wise up every day wide and so the eyes then they open. If you now want to not speak all kind English, or you not say we they talk rubbish, you not go hear we every night every morning. Anybody we put you into go come on do early morning. How then they chat on the power, so then go hang over in the morning. Them be no say we messed up mentally, but them promise new direction. Now for that to na land book, then don't go read book for can conco the bank. Can see book man thief, abracadabra the money foop in the shadows. As we dey pull dignity pan the country, then they wear pan a bigger man clothes. Dressing up then corruption, fine one they wear pan a book man clothes. Una look that poor boy just they run the end then lily cockroach. But stick back with them pan the business, say no approach. The inquiry they hot and cold, tattoo the quiz hour, they want revenge. They still a pan them politics chicken, they want revenge. Knock no they left pan them 59 years, still a knock. Where this can give we one fool, then they can give it some fufu. At the end of the day, who that they suffer? Monday to Sunday, who that they suffer? So una we don't get small sense. Una column, una party picking, then the river sweep and the vet. This the vet here we know they don't. But una come on about, una forfeit, una not they tire with full fare. Now here we go there with the seaman and the
Panny day, busy day. Another generation don't come me see panny way. Come to the way, you will still not say na boom bam boom you lay. Even the man them I chirp and all this in them they happen now the country with cherry I pan all the man they not begin them babati. They don't begin them babati. Una left and babati back take. Una let go be your body. The man they not begin them babati. They don't begin them babati. Now so they go let back in sabi time done go fail with your body. All man don't stand back his attention. All man will make impression. But he never say, watch me back, look how I'm Becky. Tomorrow you only don't know. Today only till morning. Everybody waiting for me. They cool like hot for the rest of fire. Baby I know, but it's not funny. But we know how government they run. When I be say, when I know, my explanation don't become boring. If you make a one for sleep, baby I know, but it's not funny. Frustration, they clip the mountains. On my back to empty. From one stress to the next thinking. Make man them commenting. That's a man when they come, that's a man when they go. The people in life the same. So we not get for tired for complain. Although them don't begin saying gladly. And I took down the joke, so we the grumble. Because we don't fool enough for it. And I not care play to a hungry man. A hungry man is an angry man. Now the same boy in talk say in 6 months he will fix the economy. Let's see more. Now the same man come back and you back up. When I deserve not get all the solution, but we don't understand any longer. When I been sick and I get this, it's easy and I mentally advance. Where all the book man them work, when I been the talk say ready for the dance. I remember the talk going hard, the talk say only the fish and I don't find work. Where all the idea them, we go make we live like family. Where the rest soon they plan, the seed not the grow. I shut up and do not tell we but to not degree, na show if una sabi, see it not in a hospital. See when they do about, una not tell we but to not degree. Show you what una sabi, the economy still shitty. Life for citizens shitty. If na quality education, make una picking them contestant. How long una go dey back talk no more una dey talk. If not ordinary talk, by now man dem for the shock. How man never still get work? Now whether they deliver or na buy party begin. Man dem must have make drum soak. Now dem get to work back on na the buy party. They can't wait set for man in the hand routine them say Lord.
I can never get enough of this tune. Welcome once again to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijanabi. Now acknowledging and then we go right into the discussion. Too much to discuss today, too much. So this white paper will start with part 1 today, then we will land to part 2. We get a lot for discuss and if we therefore further because the page long. So today I want to open first now we critically analyze certain things now. But before I go into that, now acknowledging her first, yeah. Madam Aissatou Kamara, welcome once again. Central Barbie, welcome, madam. Madam Isabella R, welcome, madam. Mr. Eat Super Large, welcome, sir. The wonderful Mr. Lux Kaloko, welcome, darling. Madam Levy G. Greywood, welcome. Mr. Nabi Yansane, welcome. Flourish Johnson, Madam, welcome. Madam Mr. Zachariah Sako, welcome, sir. Madam Marian Suma, welcome. Mr. Kisumanu B, welcome. Madam Zainab Kamara, welcome. Mr. Michael Thomas, welcome. Madam Abiba Tujalo, welcome. Madam Marian Suma, welcome. The wonderful Mr. Korombo, welcome, sir. Mr. Okobo Bayo, welcome. Madam Yasim Clark, welcome, madam, welcome. Madam Sue, welcome again. Mr. Idris Kabia, welcome. Mr. Michael Thomas, welcome. Mr. Ishmael Bangura, welcome. The wonderful Mrs. Madam Zainab Sharif Bangura, United Kingdom in the house again. Welcome. Alright. Anyone want missing, forgive me. Madam Salimatu Vincent, welcome. Mr. Obo Sise, welcome. They don't say we not coconut head. Anyone wake up, then it's on way. They don't say we not coconut head. Madam Julia George, welcome. Mr. Albert John, welcome.
Everybody dancing, coconut head.
Alright, so now it starts. It's a hustle, it's a hustle. Mr. Brian Sisse, welcome. Madam Rugi Ivory Blue, welcome. Madam Hawa Tamba Levy, welcome, madam. Madam Jasmina Claire, welcome. Mr. Michael Bangura, welcome. Anybody who I'm missing, forgive me, huh? Now we start. I hope you all get a good day so far. Madam Christiana A, welcome, madam, welcome. Okay. Madam Khadija Kabo, welcome. So now turn this off for minutes. Now we get to business. A lot to discuss. First and foremost.
Power off.
Mr. Prezoja Kelly, welcome. Mr. Albert Johnson, okay, I think I've already acknowledged you. The wonderful, beautiful Madam Nadia Aminata Mini Conte, welcome, darling. So, anybody who I'm missing, forgive me now, just get right to business, yeah? I can always say with anything in life, the first thing what we get for do is hold ourselves accountable. We definitely talk about the white paper today, but the first thing where I want to do first, I want acknowledge the one they wouldn't be able to exonerate. We want to say kudos to them and congratulations to them. Which one is Dr. Sylvia Olainka Blyden, Dr. Kelfala Mara, the Vice President, Mr. His Excellency Victor Swo, Mr. Alpha Khan. To name few. If I miss any, like I said, the list that thing they're very huge. The document is extremely huge. And we will go through them as best as we can. But for now, like I said, now go into the nitty-gritty on the first part. Anything we personally do in life, like I say, you want to hold oneself accountable first. The first thing is that we are who we preach. We're supposed to be that. We're supposed to be the model of what we preach or what we try to accomplish. Mr. Sori Ibrahim Kanu, welcome, sir. Mr. Michael Coco, welcome. Mr. Gadri B. Conte, welcome. Love you right back, sir. And welcome. So, like I say, it's I cannot speak about Islam, or I cannot sit here and wear a hijab and then not try to forget the fairness of God. What do I mean by that? You know, go say, like how do you the man they go say, if they say they practice Islam, we're not perfect, we're not designed to be perfect. I do not want to be perfect. The only person who deserves to be perfect now, the God Almighty. Mr. Lamin Denke, welcome. Madam Marie Lokoti Sise, welcome. The only one who deserve to be perfect now, God Almighty, and Him alone, and that's it. We all they try. We all now sinners. We all now servants of the Most High. We're not God. Christian people then go say God, or they go say Jesus, but we Islam we say the Almighty Allah. Mr. Mo Dea, welcome. So like I say, me I dey always make dua for the Almighty be me guidance, protect me and put me in the right path. What they make dua, they say he puts me amongst the Sirata Mustaqim, not perfect but the tribe, by the religion. But I not go well hijab for the for the dunya, and then not do one for the most important person when the Almighty Allah what they serve. Meaning, most man the way they wear hijab, or the one that will give you bad name, wearing you don't wear your hijab, then they say, hey, but that baby not to me can spend the night. Now God push and far away. You understand me? Like I said, we're not perfect and we're not designed to be perfect, but everybody they make dua, you make your principle. You say, okay, if even I don't get unfortunate incident in terms of marriage, divorce, but at the same time I want to live a life wherein the next person where they come, they do the right thing by the icing of God, not a mortal man, before we go to that level. You understand? So again, the reason why I say that we're not gonna preach what we're not going able for leave. You understand? You're not gonna try for impose certain things them on somebody where you force don't find yourself in a category of the same equation, which today when they talk about the white paper, we're not the more on corruption. What we all establish is that corruption must go by any means necessary, whatever way possible. We all, that's one thing we all establish as Sierra Leonean or as African. We want to make sure, say, we develop a country, and obviously the way if we crack down on corruption, obviously it will be better. It will be good for Africa as a whole. But in this case, with it boiling down to we on country and we're not Sierra Leone. So that is one thing where we all establish, or where everybody where everybody I did read some of the comments and it's already hilarious, but anyhow, where everybody where everybody basically agree, say corruption, nobody no one day in the category of corruption, nobody no wants in country corrupt, because corruption go limit to it to we highest potential if we have been in that category of the role model for West Africa. But they like today we they behind, it entails a whole lot. It entails having to do with maybe the lacking of leadership in certain areas. Not all leaders we go put as a bad people. Them it's impossible. Everybody they try in best, and who say you left, the next person for continue. Government is continuity. When we are outside of the equation, we look from the inside, it's easier to judge. But when you sit on there, then you know, say it's not, they say elephants ain't not a picking load. So we must respect and give credit to the one that we don't come before and the one that we get for come. But at the same time, like I say, I'm a firm believer of practice what you preach, and when you hold somebody accountable, you for don't be the role model, you for them in that position wherein you're not for they as perfect, but at the same time, you know, say you need to do the things same way to all other people that are accountable. The reason why I say that, I have so many things that I want to go down, where I don't want to forget any of them, where I write down for now I discuss today, and anything what they say, like I say, I can try for make sure say I back up with evidence for now it be say we're not just a talk, but rather with a with a, or we know they just kind of like by the way, many of you now reach out yesterday. Oh, I still get the box and the kick. Oh, you know, they talk about the white paper because now the X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. But mind you, we don't already pull out then the more important step than the white paper, because now God in work, you understand, where we they try for build communities, or where we they learn from those discussions from the spiritual leaders them in terms of marriage, in terms of relationship, where do we go wrong, X, Y, and Z, and of course it's going to be frequent. It's not all about politics here. There's so many things that we would say. But again, I get for cancel me show today. I get for cancel the one that was already planned for tomorrow, just so that we would discuss things then. I do not run away from, I come from a home where my dad he raised we where he believed, say, even women for express themselves freely. So there's no such thing as quote unquote challenging for me for now I sit down and present or discuss with my fellow Sierra Leonean, for now we find a common ground, or now we try to see the truth behind what is being presented to we. Like how the platform say critical thinking talk show. We are supposed to critically analyze things beyond we own prejudice, beyond we own
political affiliation then. Rather, now we see the truth and call it by its name. And it's the only way we go able to get a better Mama Salon. So I don't make that clear. So now I want to we analyze things them and I go categorically. Certain things I might forget, but I hope I not forget. We cannot again which we all establishes here is that corruption must go. But then the question come in place: how we go able to do this fairly, where everybody go be held accountable, not selected few, not any region, not any tribe, not any particular political party, but rather Sierra Leonean as a whole should be held responsible. And especially given the obvious of things where we see with this white paper, or selected few where many go look at say it was a deliberate act, and we go join voice like I say. You understand? Thank you so much, the beautiful Madam Zainab. Thank you, Madam. Thank you for your kind words. Madam Abibatu Samasi say welcome. God bless you too. Amen. So now we start little by little. To kill corruption. Again, like I say, again for start with oneself. I'm sorry, it seemed like I go in and out of me the picture. I don't know, for whatever reason, all of a sudden it's blurry. Let's find out why is that. Then we come right back. Okay, cool. I think that they see me back, eh? So now forgive me or something at the big and Jemima tie hit today. Mr. Prince T, United Kingdom, welcome. Okay, so now again, now repeat some of it. We cannot fight corruption just by going after only the main opposition member of the All People's Congress. If you agree with me, please give me a thumbs up, or how they can say tapoloko. My beautiful namesake, Madam Khadijatu Fona, welcome, welcome. Madam Kanku Mansari, welcome. Madam Aminata Adama, sorry. Jibate, welcome. Mr. or Madam Thomas, welcome. Yamari Jallo, welcome, Madam. Sequence Dumbia, sir, welcome. Madam Marian Suma, welcome. So, some go say amen to that, or some go say tapoloko. I mean, like TVD. So anytime when I agree with me, now give me the thumbs up. You feel me? Amen to that one, or we go say amen to that. We cannot fight corruption with just focusing on just one political party. In this case, we happen to be the main opposition, the All People's Congress. Madam Nene, so welcome, Madam. Mr. Edwin, Madam Edwina, welcome, Madam. Madam Marie, welcome. Madam Khadija Kabo, welcome. Mr. Mode, welcome. The wonderful, beautiful Madam Baby Thomas, welcome. So that is one. We cannot fight corruption with lies or taking credit of waiting somebody else don't do. Make I expand on that a little bit. What do I mean by that? We don't, this platform, we don't give accolade to even this current administration. When they do good, we believe say, now we place a Sierra Leonean for encourage them for let them do more. It's not all about the critical analysis for constructive criticize or critique them or pointing out their weakness, but rather also taking time for celebrating them. There was a time where we opened the Kiama Women and Children Hospital, where we give credit to this administration. But when I go back to the handover note, which of course we also refer to back again today, unfortunately I've been find out saying that the then administration now they mean puts all measures in place for that place they come into existence. But again, when we say we want governments now continuity, we give both governments credit, you understand, but at the same time in the same token, when we give this government some of the credits, when you do an open or a launching, you for also give reference to the then administration. That shows strength, you understand, and confidence for say, yes, now we don't open until today, but this year so like how the then presidents be they do when it comes to the power. And again, me evidence will me supporting evidence. I will read unto in a little bit as well. Based on a handover notes, it give credit to the late His Excellency Pakaba for say X, Y, and Z. Now I be done they do, and I me come in and do X, Y, and Z. So unfortunately, that was a weakness on this administration where they opened that the launch arm, and people like me are saying I commend and I call them now commend this administration, but unfortunately later on when I reverse back, I come to find out, given the obvious of the handover note, like I say, I go read that within I can find out say the initiative was from the other administration. So now that's what I mean by that. Now, the next one, we cannot fight corruption if our Speaker of Parliament still owe the Republic of Sierra Leone for passport selling. They don't find them guilty. And also, we cannot fight corruption if we decide to impose that Speaker of Parliament. Can I get a amen or amen? Can I get a tapolopo? So these are all significant areas then we will for address first before we hold somebody else accountable. If you agree with me, hey, tapoloko. We cannot fight corruption if our sitting president well, not allege actually, because that one what it about for say, it's not alleged. It was something where we sitting president confessed to. We cannot fight corruption if we on sitting president, we don't sell we own passports. As a result of that, unfortunately, we're in a situation where now, damn you do, damn you don't. What I mean by that, I explained that the other day on this platform, wherein, unfortunately, we don't get in a situation, we're banned right now. We don't get a sanction. This sanction, we're then in a situation now wherein either we take these criminals, where it be say some might possibly be we brothers and sisters, then meaning where we all share the same soil, where we come out in a salon when we born. But the other one, then where they don't cause major criminal activity, where they're not really born as Sierra Leone, but then they don't go buy with passports. Unfortunately, then go be mixed up, box up now we country. As a result, it don't compromise we safety. As a result, the law-abiding citizens then therefore they sleep with their one eye open. As a result, the right things then therefore put in place for the safety of all Sierra Leonean. So that effort will get for take for beginning to sit down back, they strategize and plan for see how we go save the country, given the obvious of all what they go through first, then they fight rape issue X, Y, and Z, then they try for boost back the economy, then they try for empower the youth them, all down it back again, they bring we back 5 steps behind, or at least 9 steps behind, instead of taking us forward. So we cannot fight corruption if unfortunately we don't sitting presidents, they don't put themselves in that situation. I am not here to bash, I am here to just call things by their name, and I will give again a supporting evidence for backup misstatement. Now, we cannot fight corruption, like I say, on a selective point of view. In the areas of, in the example of, we then Vice President Victor Fo, Mr. Musa Tarali, Mr. Alpha Khan, Mr. Dennis Sandi, to name few, we then deliberately omit from the list. And if we don't get land issue, Mr. Sandi been working at the then administration, okay? So why we're not for all accountable? But he been given a pass because he happens to be part of this sitting administration, member of the sitting administration. We then Vice President, His Excellency Mr. Fo, if we don't get the I call and the Arch Gates, as well as the what they say I call this thing voucher gates, where excuse me they say use in personal area for sign check. So if that's the case, why all these people were deliberately omit from this list? We cannot fight corruption in such manner. That's another one. We cannot fight corruption if we sit in president be alleged for get $800,000 money stolen from we country. And again, that was during the time of the debates. They make it clear to we funding was missing. And again, I get the evidence for backup misstatement. These are all things who I get for present to now. So we cannot say that we fight corruption if all this is being ignored. You understand? That's one. We cannot fight corruption if our sitting president was given the sum of alleged sum of $25,000 for fight Ebola epidemic through sensitization for we Sierra Leoneans living in the South. Can I get a tapolopo on that one? How can we fight corruption if we sitting president himself do not investigate and for that? And bear with me. Let's keep going. We cannot fight corruption if our coronavirus funding given to fight corona not being used to fight the pandemic. Example, we don't see where the healthcare workers then they cry, say they're not pay them. So how can we fight corruption if even this administration not give the example or the model where they try for preach, which na corruption? Why then for they cry, say they not pay them where that money there is being made? It then specifically allocates this funding for say now for user XYZ. Why then for jeopardize their life? Then they cry back, say they're not they pay we on time to the point that they say, and I take this money, we they do a normal now for God. How can we fight corruption without all those things being put into consideration or put in place? We cannot fight corruption if our minister are not run if they not run their own ministry, but rather by micromanaging or conflict of interest. What do I mean by that? You not go put person as foreign minister, then where they travel, you not make the foreign minister travel for go talk to the Lebanese them or for go to different country and work in the capacity. You not go how you call them, give welfare minister of whatever you want call them, you understand, where for they in charge of for make sure say if donation then come in the example of wheelchair or whatever the case may be. Hello, Mr. Hassan Mansour, welcome, sir. Madam Marie Bangura, welcome. Mr. Moses Kalon, welcome. So we cannot fight corruption in that manner. You're not gonna say you give them minister they also job it at the expense of Sierra Leoneans them, then cover, then yet still they're not able for work in their capacity. Somebody else get for work on their behalf. Somebody else get for do that traveling. So what is the reason why then for they? Why are they receiving money with them being prevented for doing the job? Is it now they no one do the job, or now they not the micromanagement now they allow them for not and do the job? How can we fight corruption when then they use the Swiss bank for get paid pay salaries them? As many know what in this Swiss bank is about, where it be said they're not go able for paper trail or whatever the case may be. Now we keep going. You cannot fight corruption if you have the family upon family running sensitive office. Another conflict of interest. If you get sorry now your nephew, then sorry in cousin now another what you say sorry Johnson in brother, and I make family upon family or friends upon friends. That's all conflicts of interest. How are you able to fight corruption in that way? Again, like I say, it begins with oneself. Now let's keep going. We cannot fight corruption, right? If we sitting president was not honest or willing to do an open declaration of assets. Transparency is always the very first key, or the very first thing where they kill where the quote unquote go be in the way where they talk about corruption. If you want to leave a legacy, or you want to be that example, even though the constitution will say that, and I don't share that video now, so over and over I will share it again. If you want to be that example, you want to leave a legacy, the legacy start with you, the example start with you. Despite the fact that the constitution not asks for it, and many Sierra Leoneans will say, okay, if this panel don't work for 20 years, obviously it not gets, and it's okay. Hello, Mr. Kamara, welcome, sir. Hello, Madam Aminata Noah, welcome. You understand? If, like I say, if the panel don't work for 20 years, you understand? If you go do them privately, go declare in assets privately, it's also a room of concern. And we cannot fight corruption in that manner. We get for be the example for say yes, it already. If this part count with 2 portmanteau, they don't show it. It gets 10,000 at that portmanteau, they don't show it. So now anything after that, we're not saying that when it's day as a president, now it gets the balance in them. And it's quite okay, but all that again is part of the honest process, and the list goes on. Now now keep going. You cannot fight corruption, right? Where would they go get judges them from another country? It says a whole lot. Waiting happen with we on them. Then go school. They're equally or even more intelligent than they want the way they come. Why is it that we get for go order them judges than they? Is it also in compliance with we constitution for net and can judge we on case na salon? Yeah, we hear the information minister say, oh, they judge them, then praise the past, say, not be even get involved now the process, not call them X, Y, and Z. Who's proof for we get way for say they're not being called the pa, or the pa not being called them for tell them say na X, Y, and Z. The rather obvious is that if, like I say, we pull the then vice president out of this, where we don't get a case of Gates and all the other one then, Mr. Sandy, where there's so many land issue from then to now, you understand me? Then you just say then omit them, then deliberately omit them. You understand me? So then you tell me say the panel gets involved in the process. Who are we fooling? So this is all in an effort for stimulate every Sierra Leonean in mind. For now, we look at the in total force. How fair was this white paper? How fair was the process before we get into the white paper? So we get for hold oneself accountable first before we can hold the rest accountable. We cannot fight corruption without following the due process. You never call all man thief man in advance. You don't already prejudge them. You understand they don't already get the label prior to going through the due process. How fair is that? If APC people then call all SLPP as thief man, we go condemn them as well. Because then self get the right as Sierra Leonean for go through the due process before they conclude. We cannot fight the process, or we cannot fight corruption wherein people like Salio, Tijan Jallo, it asks a question, a challenge, we chief minister, they get authentic evidence then they mass the case where one talk, they say then they put you in a tight corner. We cannot fight corruption where you the muzzle the main opposition for that they not talk. We cannot fight corruption where you they try for kill the strength or the voice of the strong how you call them journalists them na Sierra Leone. In the case of Mr. Amara Faya, we cannot fight corruption when we see the obvious that even the supporters then they come and they say, and I don't use we say and I don't tire nine, I don't care for we. How can you fight corruption when you are also part of the process or the corruption? How can you fight corruption when some of you they try for tell the other people they say let them go? Corruption is not only the physical aspect or the money battle. These are all corruption. Playing with the minds of Sierra Leoneans, manipulating them, lying to them, telling them that these other set of people they are no good, or because they come up from one side of the region they are no good. They're bad for the economy, the APC. They not do nothing. When, like I say, I go through this in a little bit, when the handover note, we cannot fight corruption when you deliberately prevent the then president, His Excellency Dr. Ines Baikoma, from delivering handover note for now. It give we account as to how we run we country. What it take now we cover, what it put and what it did not accomplish. Why we cannot fight corruption as such. So the question lies, why did you prevent him from not giving him that opportunity for not reading X, Y, and Z? Say Sierra Leonean. This is why I failed you guys. This is what I accomplished. This is what I am yet to accomplish. This is where I put money, and the next government go continue from where I left off. We cannot fight corruption if all that is not it was not taken care of, or we prevent the then president for not do such. You understand? We cannot fight corruption when the obvious is there with some of you minister, where then they do a lot of things them way now at the disadvantage of we Sierra Leoneans them, yet still then they get away with it. We cannot fight corruption with selective justice. We cannot fight corruption when things like constituency 110 issue saga exist. We cannot fight corruption when people like the young Mr. Conte, beaten, tortured, almost lost in life, but God said it go succeed, it go survive for give with testimony. And yet still, by all in right, it still then go end on a tight corner. We cannot fight corruption when it be say we even attempt for say the money where we president they use enough for give accounts to Sierra Leoneans them. We cannot fight corruption for even have the audacity to even think for say for bring such thing in a parliament. We cannot fight corruption and oh my God, it's too much, man. Madam Jamila, darling, love you right back. Welcome. Too much things that we cannot fight corruption when we see the obvious. Mr. Karim, Mr. Karim went in knock out fete that so. Welcome, enjoy the ride. Oh boy, we cannot fight corruption when the obvious is there in terms of McKinney. We cannot fight corruption when we continue to give blind to the reality. The example starts here. We cannot fight corruption when we the muzzle, the proof, the actual thing will happen na Pademba Road, the Pademba Road saga, until when we get the opportunity for sit down and talk with the one we've been there at that time. We cannot fight corruption when person like major retired Paulo go in sincerely for help. Unfortunately, it take the same pistol way, but not they take around during the other administration where you not think anything of it, but yet still, you understand me, they're all accountable, then try for GAM a case where it not be. So we cannot fight corruption without being true to oneself. Like I say, I start with myself. We cannot fight corruption in the case wherein we police them for abuse, we citizen them. And again, we don't give accolades to AIG Memuna Naya. So salute, madam, because it stand there and advise them as to how they for do their job. We also see wherein they step in the go and they try for go and repent all that and the case go on. We cannot fight corruption wherein that where they try for only people that were there at we own favor, or where they go and do like how they say yuki go and tell we can go bring calm, then we allow them for net and get free, and then the other one then now we hold them accountable, or because you do not share the same ideology or the same political party. That is not the way to go. I don't give in so many things then, and I want to give in the video then for back up my statements, because like I say, we want to remain credible, and we get forgive substantial evidence then for back up with statement then. So we come right back. Make I play some of this. I know some of you would not be happy because we call things by their name. APC come back to power, then do the same thing. We go call them on it. Okay? But again, the corruption starts with we. The corruption starts with who that don't make the rule. If we're able to leave the example before you hold another person accountable. Will they come right back? There was something where I put together, so maybe I go try for now, see if I can locate that one they force. Some of the concerns them will be made by another member of the sitting party. Now we start with that. Then will they come back? Now see if I can locate that one day first. As a matter of fact, I will start with some of the corona victims them while I did look for the other one. Will they come right back?
And a fractured foot, which is here, which I fractured last week in the bath. I fell down in the bath. And they still wouldn't listen to me.
So who stay you come, Miss Letitia Jones?
France.
Uh-huh.
So for where you can also the left you na do you dey?
No, they say for can me go na the place. I said no because I don't have the
Who's
virus.
outside them one can go?
The one can me go they say na quarantine.
Na who's na where you no sabi nobody there.
No, I don't know anybody. They say if not to you had the first trip when then they said put local, and I don't know anybody there.
Then get any sanitizer, anything?
Nothing did they give me, not even water. I had to buy my own bottle of water.
Right. No nurse, no check you, nobody know
nobody
there.
came to
No
say,
gloves.
"Oh,
Now so then they mingle, all man they mingle at the airport. Then they say then they continue.
These are all the tablets I have to take.
You get anything else where you want to say?
Blood pressure. Well, I'm just shocked that this is my country and this could happen to an elderly person. My birthday is on Friday, so I should spend my time in quarantine on Friday. Besides that, my medical problems, the suitcase I was supposed to have, it didn't arrive. And they couldn't care less about that.
So in suitcase no kind and nobody no ask you, no one no
Nobody, they
safe.
don't want to know that.
And you not get nobody who can pick up for you.
No. So that is why I want to be home.
Okay.
My tablets are all in the suitcase.
And then don't check your temperature and your
They
temperature
don't
okay.
everything is fine with me besides the ailments that I have. My
So you not get no symptoms where they should say you get the
No, of
virus
course
or
not,
anything.
Because they took my temperature, of course not. I'm talking to you normally, but inside my other ailments, look at my foot, fractured ankle. I can't walk. Now my heart problem has started. I've got fluid in my foot now. I can't walk.
So now you also the left you all net. Now you the left you now you all net till now till 8 o'clock morning. They no care nobody no give nothing, no food, no water.
I was born here. They don't want to know.
Nobody, not even officer, no can talk to
They
you.
don't want to know. They don't care.
Okay, yeah, we go put this na social media. This na the government who get, we don't know what in the government they do for we. This na the new government of Sierra Leone, where people in camp, nobody no get for day. Right, this na the other people that we can, I also they left them. This woman box no come, they say they want can go put local, they want go left and they, you don't know if they get water, you don't get nothing. They don't get sanitizer, they don't get clothes for wear, nothing no they. Look all the load.
We'll not even get bathroom for you.
Bathroom not there, they not put a temporary bathroom, no nurse not there where they check anybody. They also they left everybody.
So the people that always say, people in the change,
They say power, look inside people and they change. Now also now they left the land and the wet na do. Look this man self. Now then the peace na the international airport na Lunge. Now the bathroom this, now the woman and they can peace. They not get no portable toilet set for the people and for let them go inside. Then at the tent this where them put. They say if they not go power pan and put local where they not sabi nobody, the people in can spend money na also right. Then say if they not go put local, na also then go left them na do na Lunge. Then at the bus this where they say for goats. They know they check nobody, they no get gloves, nothing no dey. The apprentice they look them. Na engineer line and take the whip the bus. When they go inside, they no get mask when they wear. When they can down, they know they spray the bus with no sanitizer. They know they spray nothing. Then this na the water now where they don't pack, when they put for cargo na put local. Because they say na well water they. No information, look where the bus dirty. They not sanitize the bus, they no spray am. So cross contamination. The sick way no count safe now you can pull na so you go pull inside the bus. They know they separate people when they go inside the bus. No, nothing, nobody know they no procedure, no nothing. So they are put this for on social media. Now know what in the government they do. Who are responsible? Nobody no can also self can talk to Una Lunge. Una put them for we. From yesterday, some people they don't come from 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Now they left them. Let them sleep na do. Nobody no can talk to them. They are put them for we.
So, like I was saying, we want just to be credible and in a for in ourselves some of the concern and the submission of that man and the woman, where then happen to be the first-hand witness of waiting them the experience. Now we go to the next. Many more evidence for now we support with statements on this platform. And I thank you and I continue for patience. Now they go small. This one where they play now a statement from Dr. Samura Matthew Wilson Kamara.
What is most disturbing, and it really hurts, is when you listen to people who want to rule a country without clear understanding of how the country's economy works, what the sectors are important for the economy, what policies are necessary to improve on the economy. But what is more worrying is when people talk without a sense of history, going back to where they came from. Brigadier Madabu talks about reckless expenditure. I was a financial secretary in this country when the NPRC was here, when he ruled as head of state for 3 months. You understand? I know exactly, as manager of the economy, manager of the budget, how we were constrained by the fact that what we call extra budgetary revenues were not paid into the budget. One particular one was we got 18 million US dollars from the sale of ilmenite that was never reported to us. We collected the money, it was not paid into the budget. Was that good expenditure? No, I'm just coming. So when you talk about reckless expenditure,
Dr. Kamara,
I'm coming.
we're trying to get you to tell us how you will push the country
I will do
forward,
that. Yes, I'm coming to
not
that
to go
now.
back
I'm coming to that.
and launch a personal attack.
Others, for
Let's allow him to finish.
Less than a year and a half, they manage the trade ministry, just selling.
And I don't hear from Dr. Matthew Wilson Kamara. Like I say, anything will talk with a back out with evidence. Make her come back again and bring some of the other things when of concern. Now we come to the Ebola funding, and from the one that will be make the funding available to a country. Statement from them, first-hand statement.
Second issue I want to mention is how this disaster was managed. And I really want to give credit to the ministries and give credit to ONS on the way that the whole process was managed. I think what the Ministry of Finance and ONS did on day one, they recruited a private audit company to manage the finances for the disaster. And we have seen the accounts. Let nobody say that any of the money given to the government of Sierra Leone was chopped. It was not, right? We don't need to wait for the audit report to come. We have spoken to the private audit firm that was involved, and the funds have been managed, and they have been managed well.
And I hear for in herself, the man said the money where they mean give the then administration, they make sure say they hire a private auditor where they make sure say it they give checks and balance, and none of that money that then be used for say putting at them pockets. Not to me say, not in say. Now we continue for go on. This was on a piece they were put together based on statement from the man himself, we belong now this political party, the current administration, where they give testimony of own knowledge or experience about we sitting president and many other some ministers them as well we've been concerned with. I put the piece together in a patient and in a what.
His Excellency the President, I want to draw your attention to another audio or video again where be made, if I'm not mistaken, September 24th, 2017 by not an outside person like we go say oh something this na NGC they say I'm on a APC person on a C4C no, but this na one of your political member where it be say in know you from your own perspective and from history. It makes some salient points then where basically some of it where many go still question. They talk about how let me begin first with the Ebola funding. It makes some comments on that with accountability. It makes some comments with corruption and not giving account to the money given to you by the former president, His Excellency Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma. They talk about the conduct or the indiscipline of one of you minister, one of the deputy minister of internal affairs. It makes series of comment on that. It also makes series of concern about that same individual they playing the tribal card games and also not holding oneself accountable. And it also make emphasis on about regional balance, basically how there was a lot of tribalism being played on your end. You talk about the sincerity and lying. You talk about violence and thuggery attacking folks basically when they in the camp. It also make emphasis of waiting now people and they say there's difference between PAWPA and SLPP, and the list goes on. Like we basically musicians say, Emerson say the Babati, so it make emphasis on that. So without further ado, make a take you back to this video. Like I can always say, I like for back up my statement with authentic evidence them. At least no go point out certain things them. And the reason why I bring this, like I say, when that type of comparison be made prior to you coming in, and now it's coming to reality in so many areas, then I guess Sierra Leoneans could judge their own conclusion.
Me salon fambul them uno ado this na Alpha Saidu Bangura of Kapu Sense no Kapu word. They continue for respond to the misguided and very indisciplined lie Lawrence Liman where Julius Madabio can impose as National Publicity Secretary na the SLPP by unlawful means. Lie Lawrence Liman, you dey mistake me for Julius Madabio. Now that make you say me Alpha Saidu Bangura don't take money to person for can expose Madabio in records. Lie Lawrence Liman, me anoge bra, anoge boss, nobody no day na the world we own me. Therefore nobody no day we at the work for. Julius Madabio na ingo mortgage himself to President Ernest Koroma because he no one for work and he add up. During the Ebola time, when people like John Benjamin take the sweat of your face, they go Kenema and Kaila for go help people where the Ebola be attacked. Julius Madabio in the England, he dey live off the goodwill of friends. When the Ebola don't done, now that time Julius Madabio can salon go to President Ernest Koroma, go take money, say in they can sensitize people them about the Ebola. Take today, you know, account for that money day. Go ask Julius Madabio, let tell you who that they pay for the Osway day. If he tell you the truth, then you go no say, now him go take money to the APC for can destroy the SLPP. Me not go ever behave so, because me get shame and respect for myself. So do you not ever mistake me for Julius Madabio. Lie Lawrence Liman. Prince Adin go lie to you say, now because Intel Pakaba say, Pakaba they pull the SLPP, now for that make Pakaba Sakam. Well, let me tell you what to make Pakaba Sakam. When Prince Adin was minister responsible for transport, go bring some foreigner them will be they do some helicopter business. Them people and they, even though boku them experts they don't tell they say the helicopter they hold them be they run get mechanical issues. Prince Adin tell them say may they ignore the precaution they may them continue for run the helicopter. Then take the helicopter then they can kill a huge number of Togolese them because the people that don't bribe Prince Adin $60,000. The day where that helicopter they for them, where he kill boku Togolese them, that same day President Alhaji Ahmad Tijan Kaba sack Prince Adin. And everybody know that. So if you they go listen to Prince Adin, now because una all useless and una all they lie. And una not go able for can lie to we because we know the truth. Lie Lawrence Liman, Prince Adin, from where Pakaba Pulam, and not come back again, pass where Pakaba don't die, and he say Julius Madabio equally corrupt like himself, na inoma go tolerate, and that's they come back. And I also glad when Prince Adin orchestrate for make the unlawfully expel Chief Sumano Kapen we will let the party stand up against them and make sure say we reinstate Chief Sumanoka Pen back. If Prince Adi Namo be get sense, that 10 day if we don't come out na this party in national executive. And it don't two them all them 2 10 day we sure say not to get the party, we sure say people in the party no respect them. I should say you Lawrence Sliman can remember not then 2-3 weeks here where Dr. Mane come, where people let see say he get a clean record, where people let see say he loyal to the party, people let be ready for vote for him, even though most of them delegates them won't put so are not paid up member, but even the unpaid up members then they be ready for pull Prince Adin. Now for that make Prince Adin acting on the instruction of Julius Madabio, who believe in violence and thuggery, make them go beat Dr. Mane in supporter there, wound them, broke some eye and bust some people the head. That Madabio they can't tell we will get sense that we say he not believe in violence. So they think say I intern so we turn. Lai Lawrence Liman, now you then dreb na law school because of indiscipline. Before you conscious say you unbrought up, you not get training. For that, you go all over social media say, now because you na mende, na make them dreb you. The same thing happen where they sack you, come out, na the Salon Army, again for act of indiscipline. Instead of you conscious say something is wrong with you, you're not able for act right. For that, you go all over the place, say, now where you na mende, I make them pull you come on at the army. You know how many mende people them, then at the army? You know how many mende them, then at the University of Sierra Leone? But I tell God, thank you, people and they will not listen to you. And because you indiscipline, because you misguided, now for that make Julius Madabio can install you as national publicity secretary by unlawful means. Well, we know they tolerate that. Members say we SLPP na the party of Sir Milton Magai. We SLPP na the party of Sir Albert Magai. We SLPP na the party of Tapliman Gobe. We SLPP na the party of Chief Julius Gulama. These are all disciplined people from the southeast. Therefore, you, Lawrence Liman, Prince Adin, where they sack for thief, Julius Madabio, where thief we country in money, he can buy also cost over $600,000 in America on another place, na the SLPP. We get a zero tolerance for corrupt and indisciplined people. Now for that make we not go ever tolerate to now. Because Julius Madabio no say he not go able for win clean elections. Now for that make all them it bring show trick, it bring unconstitutional issues them for can impose himself for make it can continue for destroy the SLPP because now that's the APC don't pay for. Well, me I not so. Me nobody know buy me. Me I not get bra. I am my own man. I live by the sweat of me own face. That make every day at the wake in the morning I go walk. I get the joy of bringing food na me own table. I get the joy of putting roof over me own head. I not depend on nobody. So don't mistake me for Julius Madabio we corrupt. Julius Madabio, the day where he unlawfully overthrow Strasser, where he impose himself. The next day, now in brother Steve Bio, where he been take Boku government contract and doing MPR system, go pull Boku, boss them. Them transport the way we get. Now Wataki, without pay penny as a custom tax. Julius Madabio give a waiver, even though in brother not to be government official, he not entitled to a waiver. He get tax exempt, so he not be entitled to. And that act of Julius Madabio bring a big financial loss to Sierra Leone and its people. Now that record day, now you, Lawrence Liman, and Prince Adin will believe in corruption. One for can market Julius Madabio with, well, he not get place. Now the SLPP. The SLPP, not a corrupt party. Therefore, today, Sunday, September 24, 2017, me, Alpha Saidu Bangoa, they donate Julius Madabio, Prince Alex Adin, and Lai Lawrence Liman to the APC, who say una rightfully belong. Una no get no business, no place. Now we SLPP. Una get out. Let we can restructure and rebuild with party. You dey talk about regional balance. I want let you go look this una executive who una bring come by unlawful means because now delegates them. We're not to members of the party. Now they go elect una. Let you see say na 31 people le una pick day. Go see how many come on at the south. Go see how many come out at the east. Go see how many come on at the north. Go see how many come out at the western area. And can't tell we will get sense now we had. No, we not tell you if that executive they get a regional balance. You don't know what's in a regional balance. So just keep quiet. Again, I they say, as from today,
I they donate Julius Madabio and una all when I incorrupt supporter them to the APC. Now they una belong, una no get place. Now we own SLPP. The APC, now the party we all man know for Togri. The APC, now the party we all man know for corrupt people left. The APC, now the party of Abu Embo. The APC, now the party of Agba Setani. The APC, now the party of Bon.
His Excellency the President, make I draw your attention to this as well, where we make promise in regards to a dual citizenship. And again, I stop here for now as we watch the video.
We call home. Some people have to take visas, Sierra Leoneans, to go back home, which is not necessary. We are going to work on the double citizenship issue, which quite a lot of people have been grumbling about, and rightly so. We have all been out here, and coming out here doesn't mean you don't like home. Circumstances have led to that. And you want to go back home any moment. There should not be a sentence. So we are going to engage. It's a little politically sensitive because we have to take it through Parliament so that you can have double citizenship and also aspire to positions. At the moment, it's extremely difficult. That is going to be a serious campaign because those, how do we call them, home base, are also scared and jealous. Because you guys go with those accents that are so difficult. You scare the hell out of them.
So we're here now.
So we are going to need your support when we table that, so that frankly speaking, it doesn't mean that because you are here and you have a British or whatever citizenship, you should be disqualified for. In fact, we want you to go back home. You have acquired the work ethics. You've acquired so much, and you can hit the ground running for people like us, because we don't want to have to tell you when to go to work. I don't want to be running up and down, telling people to go to work. I don't want to be a headmaster anymore.
His Excellency the President, I want to draw your attention to another audio or video again, where be made, if I'm not mistaken, September 24th, 2017, by not an outside person, like we go say, oh, something this na NGC, they say I'm on a APC person, on a C4C, no, but this na one of your political member, where it be say, know you from your own perspective and from history. It makes some salient points then where basically some of it where many will still question. It talk about how let me begin first with the Ebola funding. It makes some comments on that with accountability. It makes some comments with corruption and not giving account to the money given to you by the former president, His Excellency Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma. It talk about the conduct or the indiscipline of one of you minister, one of the deputy minister of internal affairs. It makes series of comment on that. It also makes series of concern about that same individual they playing the tribal card games and also not holding oneself accountable. And it also make emphasis on about regional balance, basically how there was a lot of tribalism being played on your end. You talk about the sincerity and lying.
So, welcome back. As you saying, I've sure saying I all don't see that clip there. This now all bring it back. We for now we'll come back again 10 steps backwards for now get tripped down memory lane. I can always say sometimes things can be said about somebody. It is up to you again for coming and say this was their opinion, but this is me. So this again, like I say, I did put on there for the benefits of Sierra Leone and they didn't take their own, use their mind, them knowledge and critically think waiting was said about we sitting president when he been there in opposition and what would they see now? Do you connect the two? You understand? There's so many other things them way, like I say, this video coming from somebody where they inside the party, he accuse them of tribalism, he accuse them of so many things them, where of course in go be the judgment. It's necessary for now we'll go back again and revisit this thing and try for connect for see was it true or was it just a false allegation about this about sitting president. Now go back again now share many other things them within as I said, there's some stuff that are, some people that are not so happy, but again a quick smile anyway. No, just enjoy small and then come right back and then I will land to the next video.
Zauri moyo ganeria Mariana.
This is our country. Now all the job, now money, now the various offices. Tell the medical students, please. Now we don't tell them. We know they don't want the money. Let them take the money.
Having waited for hours in expectation of their 2 months incentives, over 200 COVID-19 frontline workers in the western area, rural and urban, belonging to the surveillance pillar, have been left frustrated again. These workers claim that they are to be paid the sum of 1 million leones per week, but we are surprised to be told that it has been cut down to 200,000 leones, a situation that left them with no option but to reject the payment.
Then call we. Initially, we don't submit with BBAN number and repayment requirement to them. So they call it and say that they can't do table payment because of 1 or 2 errors with the notice. So we come since this morning, we wait for the finance team for can pay. We don't they ask since this morning, that this noon they come. When they come, they say that they can commence payment, we make line. We make this line now to be greater surprise that then tell we say now 200,000 they can pay me. What the initial agreement will be 1 million per week. Later on they say they will put down to 500,000 per week. Will not be really go down well with we. Because imagine the level of fixed for the weeks we live. Imagine me as a contact tracer, supervisor. We go at the contact the house. We go there, we monitor there for 14 days. We go there every blessed. Imagine we weeks. Imagine with family, we go to family in our house. After we don't weeks we life, we go back to picking in our house, we go back to family, we husband and back in our house. So when I say they pay 200,000, we really feel sad, we really feel disappointed. So based on that, we all agree we will not take the money. But being that we still don't take the money, we go decide we go still work. We work for the country. We work, when the government not say they work how they work, we not work with happy mind. We work with an heavy heart. We work because of we are health workers. We work because of we don't decide for work for the country. But for many people, 200,000 with the 100% amount of risks what they face in there, it's too bad. It's too sad.
Big guy, they're not honest with me. They're not honest to this nation. You know, they're not truthfully fine. If initially they say they're not getting, not people will go work because we're not health worker. We don't decide for be a health worker. We do decide for dinner the health sector for helping people their life. But if they don't say that they pay we, they for pay we. If they don't say they police at Monday for pay, but if they say they know they pay we, okay, we don't go back. Don't go back. We say they go about we continue still for work. I don't want me don't say because on our health worker there we don't be done. We don't take out say we go work for this country. We go take out say we go help with people their life. I mean, we'll be in Australia. So now that's the thing. Now that make all don't vex today, and everybody have to be frank, my brother. They not treat with fear. They're not honest to themselves. They're not honest to this country. Because in actual fact, you know they go sit down at table, we make agreement with somebody. All of a sudden, they turn her down as if the money not there. Okay, we don't know you say money there. If the money not there, no problem. But if the money there, they for pay me. So
these frustrated frontline workers promise to continue their service to the nation, but however call on the government to immediately look into their issue for an amicable solution. Efforts to get the side of the EOC has so far been abortive, but spokesman Solomon Jamiru earlier told AYV that government has done all it could to effect payments. Swale Hovandi, AYV News, Freetown.
And I welcome back. As in I see this not a we on news media house be announce now from down there, the Republic of Sierra Leone, where we see say the healthcare workers them still not give up on their duty, then decide to say yet still and go continue for Duam, but yet of course they were disappointed of the funding where they may give them. Regardless, they say okay, then up say then go at them. So this all when we talk about corruption, like I say, we one leave the example of a role model and one leave a legacy. It starts within first with we, and given the obvious of how critical this pandemic is, I don't believe it's fair for them as well. Again, now we continue to go. Now we give some more highlights on some other areas then when they come back. I want to play this one for many we been the way put you know, I believe say every government, like I say, should be given credit, just like how we can give accolade to this sitting government when the need arise. Equally so with the then government, and this one I saw now an authentic evidence where the Prime Minister of England, they say that Salon Bidonde as one of the fast growing country in the continent of Africa. That played and they come right back.
Hello everyone. I take great pleasure in congratulating Sierra Leone on its 50th anniversary of independence. I was a young boy when I first heard my father's stories about Sierra Leone. He visited the country in the 1960s to teach at Fura Bay College in Freetown, and his students were filled with hope about what their country's recent independence would bring. Now, as the people of Sierra Leone celebrate this landmark anniversary, many will reflect on how too often that promise went unfulfilled in the decades that followed. It's true that now this country has come through some tough times in the past 50 years, not least the devastation of the 10-year civil war. But it's wonderful today to see how far Sierra Leone has come since then, just a decade after the British military helped to end that war. The country has seen 2 sets of free and fair elections, its first peaceful transfer of power, and according to the World Bank, one of the fastest improvements in political stability of any country in the world. So of course the conflict caused lasting damage. Public services and infrastructure were decimated. But to tackle these challenges, President Koroma has pledged to run his government, as he says, like a business, rebuilding Sierra Leone's economy, reforming its public sector and tackling corruption. I know, as you do, that there's still a long way to go. But each time I visit Freetown, I'm struck by how quickly change is happening. Where before it was among the darkest capital cities in the world, now there is mains electricity. And according to the United Nations, over the last decade, Sierra Leone has been the second fastest improver in human development in the world. This month also sees the anniversary of one of Sierra Leone's most impressive achievements, that of the Free Healthcare Initiative, launched on Independence Day 1 year ago, and with the support of the UK and the international community, the government abolished user fees for pregnant women and babies who now have better access to healthcare than ever before. And the results, by the way, are startling. Already deaths from malaria among children have fallen by over 80%. Looking to the future, President Koroma and his government are now turning their attention to Sierra Leone's smallholder farmers, launching a program to provide seeds and machinery and training to help over 80,000 farmers and their families lift themselves out of poverty. Investors also are beginning to sit up and take notice of Sierra Leone's incredible natural resources, an abundance of minerals, beautiful beaches, rich arable land fisheries, and the third largest natural harbour in the world. So the challenge, as we know, is to convert this interest into deals that will create the jobs and sustainable economic growth that are the engine of development. So these are exciting times for this great country, and indeed for Africa as a whole. I'm delighted through my own work with the Africa Governance Initiative, my team and I can continue to contribute to Sierra Leone's development as a peaceful, prosperous, democratic country. I truly believe this can be Africa's century. And as it celebrates the last 50 years and looks forward to the next 50, Sierra Leone can and should be one of Africa's greatest success stories. Thank you and good luck.
Interesting. So that is to the contrary of what we daily. You know, things like this is critical that we keep them, and I get loads of archives because we want to be credible where we say certain things. I believe say what to make with some they look as witch hunts. For now, you know, give credits. It's just like even with this administration, if you not get the courage for even give them one credit say they don't do, or you commend people the way they do good, it's done in the real definition of witch hunt. But if the then president try his own best, not to everything he go accomplish, but when you hear that, the man make note of say when they come out from a civil war, Salone being the darkest city, you understand? And I even make mistake. He said it's second fastest growing economy in the world. How beautiful is that? It talk about free medical, and the list go on in a Yerifo in a Seth. You understand? So for now, we discredit whether it's this sitting president or the former president. It's not good for the country. It's not good for us as Sierra Leonean. You cannot say because you not belong to a political party or you hate somebody, you cannot even give them a credit or you not respect the efforts within again our country. We really there at a crossroad and we pray that God will turn out for the best. You understand? Even what they do, so many people then they frown at it and they hate because they try for educate people then on the truth. If President Bill do good, we they celebrate him. But for now we come and discredit not so everything President Bill go do bad. It go must get one good inside it. The same too with President and it's by Koroma. I go only respect people the way they stand for the truth. Now this administration will go give back say, hey, President Bill we don't President Koroma we don't do this so and not be able to finish so now they will pack up. Now they will start form. Now that's what they call Mota Man. Salone belong to we all, not any political party, not any tribe, not any region, not any leader at all. At the end of the day, now God puts we all day. So if we cannot be honest with ourselves, we just say go no more. Oh, this is not thief money. Don't embezzle. They don't this. You know do nothing. Na cosmetic road. Na this. Na that. Mind you, second fast-growing economy in the world. When maybe they say in Africa, from being the darkest city to him going there trying best for bring light for we. No give credit to where it's due. No afraid God. So for those where they vex for waiting they do so. For now, we start on reality. Just like if President Bill left tomorrow, then somebody want kind of more everything about they not get one thing say, hey, but now this is do good, then afraid that kind of person they so as well. So for in a way they come in at the vex, then in a check in an interest of for Salone, in a not get interest of the nation or for we as Sierra Leonean for push national cohesion in a focus no more now for do bad pine accompany Sierra Leoneans then and they rejoice for see people papa them, people mommy them, they in a category of disgrace. Then they not to God fear, not to God people then. So I condemn those people where they frown against this thing they want to show. For remind we of certain thing the way they don't give we the bad impression, the misconception. For say everything a garbage way the other administration do that is wicked. When you don't think positive for other person, you go always to get negative on your side too. So now we give credit where it's due, where we need for condemning we do, and sincerely for the development of our nation. I did play the next one and come right back. For now, back that one day. Now, I'm coming outside of the republic. We colonial masters them. This now a young man where he be say now he own the AYV, and I listen to him in statements. Well, at least now he owner now. You understand? And I listen to his statements. So then you go say, okay, now we colonial master them. This time we own Salum Bogoda in your statements about the then president and in development or waiting it do from in your point of view. And a patient Miss Mona try for locate them again, please. In the meantime, I will play something else. Okay, let's see if this will work.
Out of the country. I warn people them. I said Ebola money will not eat them. Yes. Out of the country. Out of the country. I warn people them. I said Ebola money will not eat them. Yes. If when they listen, when I go remember say, I say, I go down. I tell people I say Ebola money na blood money. Don't you? Yes. Now we authorize for make them set up this interim audit and make parliament. So who said that you know where they can grab the same? I mean, I don't understand it. You train out for Calvex say we don't eat. I say no. Keep on the tests. Ebola money, everybody will account for it. Yes. When the Auditor General report come out, the law is that you will go through the public accounts committee. Yes. Then you go through the process. We in a law country. Right. Some people they say, oh no, because now Auditor General, the law of, I mean, you will say this na law, that they not to law. It's not possible. We are consistent. Yes. What you see they do it. What you say they go by the law, we go by the law. And look at what in Parliament they come up with. We are doing it again for make we strengthen Parliament, so that they will continue to play that watchdog role. So now everybody now in the country, they tell you, say, yeah, take them out, I know I'm going to Parliament tomorrow. Take them out, make I do them properly because the auditor then they come. This is how you build this culture of transparency and it is not going to happen overnight. Yes. But we then measure how they take the strengthening of their institutions, giving them opportunity for perform their role. We are strengthening transparency and accountability. So with time we will get there. But then nobody can take the credit. If you say we go hold this, you say Ebola money. So now we say make the people their accounts. Yes. So we get every reason for be proud of what we do. Yes. And that is why we don't focus on the electorate. Exactly. The only thing we get for do as a party for be united. When the turn reach, we say that this way we go, and we are there as a party. We will succeed with it. Yes. The party will succeed with it. Yes. And we will continue for another 2 terms of the next president, another 2 terms, 15 years. So I think say that APC forever. That will be the focus. Yes. So Mr. Chairman, I think we'll get a responsibility when I don't start well for make we continue for build the unity that the party.
And I welcome back. That one in a very important video where basically, unfortunately, there mean some set of Sierra Leoneans them cut half of that video or partial forgive the impression where I think the then president not be mean. What I mean by that? You know the Yeriam keenly where it is say it is say that, you know, basically I be don't wonder why I so say the Ebola money not for it na blood money, and I make sure say I get team them where manage the or audit the Ebola funding for make sure say the money is being used in the manner where it was basically given for. You understand? So, and obviously if we want eat that money from my own point of view, from what I get, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, obviously now we'll get somebody with a credible source, and the one I don't play that the way the man make and clear say, then gets an independent auditor where they audit the funding, and they not put their hand by the money. So like I say, anything we say now, so we get for basically giving back the authentic proof from Mekam. Mr. Sa, let's not get your name right, sir. I know, so you say now stay on the white paper. This is all part of the white paper. Before we get to all in one accountable, we'll get for CFOS, where did it go wrong? So we'll get for, you know, we're not going to just grab them or do the white paper. This is not all part of the white paper. And we try for see how fair was the white paper. Was it only designed for only specific individual? Was it only designed for the main opposition, the All People's Congress? It's just like APC can now. They said you're just the target number. SLPP people them. We'll come back again and critically analyze and see if they're fair across board, then they hold everybody accountable, or other people then what you say they cannot be touched. So hence the reason why we present all them thing there. So before, like I said, na part 1 of maybe parts 2 or part 3. Part 2 again we'll get for continue tomorrow. We'll go with the nitty-gritty of everything. Also the handover notes, where we don't do specific show for that handover notes. They will be take me, I think, couple days for now finish that handover notes. So it's critically important for now we not just jump all over the place. We go right to white paper. Before the white paper, waiting they don't do, waiting they fail for do, waiting the handover notes say, waiting at them things they are so where we international body them they talk about them people they are so, waiting at the, you know, the other X, Y, and Z. So now it make they take me time and do all that. Now we go to the next one of the video I want to play in upcoming, but we will definitely play them eventually. If not today, I'm not the time. Okay. Okay. So again, we cannot say with the fight corruption. We hear the saga between Honorable Paran and Honorable Tawa in the past. So now we play that back again. Now we remind each other.
In fact, in Parliament, we get 2 types of travels. You get statutory and non-statutory travels. Non-statutory travels are the one that will not get named. Like conference, you say just go car. We spend only about 5% of the budget on that. And I want to assure the people of Sierra Leone, say Honorable Tawa Conte for non-statutory travels, don't travel past every MP in the Parliament.
But
waiting at the issue.
Quickly, some of the issues there, so where Honorable Tawa they raise now as a concern to the public. I remember during your own term, where you self now be member of Parliament. Now some of the issues there, you self be the champion.
No, Khadija, you missed the point.
Wait.
Are the champion things where I get evidence about?
Paran, hold on and make me point. I remember where you now be MP. Now some of the issues there, so you be they give so much issues with the leadership by then say. Then supposed for be accountable to owner as members of Parliament. So if now you don't then at the other end as administrator, if a member of Parliament they raise some of the issues there, according to you, you don't understand. You don't try for create any dialogue between you and Honorable Tawa?
Of course, almost every month I'll create dialogue between me and the MPs. I know the goal MP in years for can listen to me. You will feel say you're not MP, you are representing people well. You always go carry listen to the right thing and tell the people the right thing. But let me tell you, Tawa was blue-eyed boy of the leader. They fell out because Tawa said they don't make a chairman of committee. They don't make the 2 other SLPP MPs where they all 3 come off by then. Chairman, they don't make a chairman. So he has an issue with that. Tawa say I have not allowed him to travel. he has an issue with that. And they are showing that Tawa don't raise 5 issues of accountability in Parliament. They don't prove her wrong 5 times. And they are showing that equally Tawa been the incite MPs against administration. They like today the MPs don't know the issue. I will prove them by WhatsApp. Say the MPs don't fall on them and say make ever incite them against administration because he is not saying the right thing. He's not being truthful with them. And this not the same Tawa when he raised up issue against Parliament and the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance came and the truth was revealed. Tawa came back to me apologizing. This is the Tawa who is just too personal and he will continue for be personal. One in colleague, they were with the Parliament now. They were all in the bank. A colleague personally came to me and say, my brother, be patient. Tawa na marry get bad at.
Continue for with me, Clerk of Parliament, Honorable Paran Tarawali. As quickly they do a link up on the line for talk to Honorable Tawa Conte.
Well, on the line now, we get Honorable Tawa Conte, we na the Member of Parliament for constituency 132 na Lumley and some other area them. In our one party Member of Parliament, them we don't raise concern, but accountability and transparency under Honorable Paran Tarawali in leadership as the Clerk of Parliament. Good morning, Honorable Tawa Conte, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Khadija. Good morning, Auntie. Good morning, Sierra Leone.
Yesterday, you raised an issue we get for do with corruption, alleged corruption, and issues of transparency under the administration of Honorable Paran Tarawali as Clerk of Parliament. This morning, we get an IASO for talk on other issues them and in response to some of them things then they. But according to the issue we get with na personal issues.
Khadija, let's start by stating some numbers then, because I don't get all the time in the world for maybe you have to somebody think the way the clerk don't say. In the first place, the Parliament of Sierra Leone for the entirety of 2018, no parliamentary committee not perform oversight. And hello?
I get you, sir.
Yeah, for the entire 2018, no parliamentary committee not ever perform any oversight. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Finance make available to Parliament a budgetary allocation of 14.2 billion. In that 14.2 billion, the Ministry of Finance make 2 disbursements. They make disbursements in Q3 July of 2.4 billion. They make disbursements in Q3 of August of 2.275 billion, where the total come up to 4.8 billion. In that 4.8 billion, the reports where the clerk, they claim say they prepare the quarterly reports to the Parliamentary Service Commission, PSC. In fact, the first report where they do, not a quarterly report, now half-yearly reports where they do between January to June, from the 1st of January to the 30th of June 2019. And in that report, I have a copy of it. It says Parliament owe 1.9 billion in arrears. Of the 1.9 billion Parliament owe in arrears, of the disbursements where they paid the 2018 budget of 14 billion, the Ministry of Finance later in January and February then disbursed another 4.8 billion to Parliament. We're supposed for don't take care of all the parliamentary arrears, and assuming that the debts will be 1.9, it means to say Parliament will be there in credit of 2.9 billion. And the entire parliamentary allocation for oversight for 2018 might be 463 million. But no committee not perform oversight. But the clerk will tell you, say, Honorable Tarawali about that, because now alone, anybody when they ask for probity and accountability, especially when somebody they do the wrong thing, the other people they want for label, who think say their own partner for just label and get their own way, then go and say this person get bad. But what you need in a parliament for? Now for the people of Sierra Leone. Now, for 2019, the 2019 budget, all other charges, the total other charges now 6.8 billion. It also makes reference to the fact that at the day where the Public Accounts Committee, the Parliament, they ask the Ministry of Finance for can do presentation. Unfortunately, the clerk not tell them say the presentation the Ministry of Finance do and what the Public Accounts Committee do. Now they just a sham because now the committee process where they just give the disbursement, the revenue where the parliament don't receive. But
Honorable Tawa, quickly, Honorable Paran make mention, say, some of the issues there are all where you they outline so now. Now, because most time, you don't they approach parliament, then for sponsor you, now overseas trip, the way not get for do with parliament. So, it not can agree. Now, they all some of the issues there so come up. You don't get anything for do with the accountability issues them we don't outline so.
Okay, thank you very much, Khadija. One thing where I go want the clerk for do, maybe in an open forum, a radio station like this, now for long we sit down together, now we discuss some of the issues there. The first thing is that, now parliament, I never approach parliament for travel. And throughout the parliamentary stay, for more during a parliament, I don't travel to them. I travel go Qatar at the IPU, then I travel go Abuja, where the speaker, they invite the speaker for a climate change program na Abuja, Nigeria, last year, November. So I never approached Parliament for travel. And in 2019, let me give you another gist, Khadija. The Ministry of Finance don't disburse 11.5 billion for parliamentary activities. And the total disbursement of the Ministry of Finance don't give to Parliament about 20.9 billion. So they not only about 5 committees don't go on oversight. Parliament, they spend a whopping amount on water where the parliamentary toilet, they all distinct. You know, to see criticize the go parliament every day. The seasonal parliament toilet them. So for me, asking for accountability, not for don't use the clerk to the point where they go talk to they will not get any correlation, not get any corroboration, not get any fact.
All right. Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, thank you very much. We clear some of the issues then there. We go look inside this issue proper one. Quickly, let's come back to you, Honorable Parantarawali, Clerk of Parliament. You don't listen to the statistics and figure them where Honorable Tawagi and the different allocation we Ministry of Finance don't they give you as the Clerk of Parliament for one parliament. And it say from where they go to parliament, they not ever go oversight. But allocation day for parliamentary oversight.
You know, I don't tell you, in parliament you get very serious honorable members, then you get not too serious honorable members. The very serious honorable members, they ask questions and get their facts right. The not too serious honorable members, they wallow in rumors and waiting them feel. And one such person are the Honorable Tawa Conte. A very unfortunate, there are so many things we are not be able to discuss over radio, but I will discuss. Except for 2019, government Ministry of Finance don't give you 20.9 billion. Me fumble then wrong. Then don't give you 25 billion. I don't tell you say not sabi figures. Not to 20, then don't give you 25 billion. And out of that 25 billion, 19 billion don't go direct to MPs. So members of parliament me fumble na Sierra Leone. Out of the 25 billion, where government of Sierra Leone don't spend on parliament, direct payment to MPs na 19 billion. So when are members of parliament there, direct, including Honorable Tawa Conte, every month government they give them fuel for their motor car when at 1.9 million per MP. Every quarter they give them 18 million, where them for use for Kanto when I make meetings, where most of them not they use, including Honorable Tawa Conte. Members of parliament, every quarter they are having monies we're supposed for Kanto Una. And out of the 25 billion, which Tawa they say na 20 billion, we not even know the figures, 19 billion of that na direct payment to members of parliament. In all kind of parliament in hand, it go directly to them. But then go charge them on parliament because the old man, when they say parliament, now both administration and members of parliament. So parliament, we have received so far this year 6 billion. Out of that 6 billion, we have used close to 60% of that on statutory travels. Statutory travels not to parent creator. Now with different presidents there, now they will go form treaties with other international bodies, and therefore the Parliament of Sierra Leone is a member of 5 different parliaments. And then 5 different parliaments here will they send parliamentarians for go sit there. So any tenant parliament they see will get right for support there. Tawa has an issue on all that. Tawa, you cannot travel if you're not in a statutory parliament. But I just want to make something clear. Do you make something clear? When they accuse you, defend yourself. If you not give me the opportunity, it's unjust. Agree. But just give me 2 minutes more. I will conclude just now. The issue of oversight with Tawa they talk about, a very unfortunate, I'd always tell her, when you want to be a good MP, like, I mean I've been very powerful MP, and they ask a lot of questions. Anywhere assert, I get evidence. Tawa, if you don't assert, bring evidence. Look, I get me financial report now. This report is not secret, it's everywhere. Okay? At the left one for 98.1. Bit by bit, I spend the money when they give to parliament. It's in this 98.1. The presenter to that today. You go to parliament, it then a notice board. Everywhere you go, it day. Honorable Tawa Conte land for ask questions, so you go be a good MP. Honorable Tawa Conte parliament does sponsor a lot for make sure say people are comfortable. You know they carry money to them. Honorable Tawa Conte parliament gave you 70 million leons for Bill constituency office. Where is that office? I don't want to talk.
Okay, Honorable,
because if I talk, then go chase you with cutlass. I don't want to talk.
Will they continue with the
Trust
program?
me. This is Sierra Leone. I want.
And I welcome back. So all this now all part of the white paper process, or saying for now we've helped fight corruption. Obviously, all this get for come in place, and I think say somebody been say then they investigate the parliament at the moment. So now just patient. Thank you for the updates. And but at the same time, I mean, just want to play that in for some of the concerns that we don't get as Sierra Leoneans. Then for say, when you hold one accountable, you get for all the other one accountable as well. Not nobody not so sacred cow, right? So hence the reason why they share the thing there. So also, then we come back again now to the citizens. Them I get few other ones them where I also be one share. As a matter of fact, maybe now share that first. Now we see this about Mr. Mohamed Bangura, which he been get for talk on behalf of a political party.
This one is saying if ministers are paid 12,500 leons, where do they get the 12,500,000 leons? Where do they get the extra monies which they are actually using to buy? I mean, big cars and build fancy buildings. Well, these are the text messages so far. And let's start with the last one, Mr. Minister.
Let's start from the last one.
Yes.
This country may live by that. Let's just tell ourselves the truth.
What does that mean?
The world is like this. Salim, not everybody is going to be rich. Not everybody is going to be poor at the same time. Where we are as a country is pure about that. You sitting here, AYV, people are jealous of you. Why AYV now? Why are they going digital? Why are they having all of the best of workers? The simple reason, that's how God has destined it. Do you want to tell me that you, the journalist, who sell newspapers at 1,000 leos, you are entitled to buy or build 10, 15 houses out of your own? And a minister, a government minister, who apart from the salary he's receiving, he might have people who like him. People who wants to be friends with him, who cannot compromise his office. That minister should not build a house. That minister should not buy a vehicle. The same people, when they remove you be minister, they will sit in their bars, drinking beer. No mean when they make a minister, look at any worker so you take taxi.
And you don't want those words to be used that way. That's why they're actually building the houses.
It is just a responsibility for every human being, either you're a reporter or a human being, to think big and plan your future. Wherever you are, with your mega salary, you will make a difference. People think you get paid thousands here, thousands of dollars, or leos, millions of leos. But with your mega salary, you appear very decent. With your mega salary, you run your own homes. Some people are not prudent spenders. So that is
it the same as having an exit strategy like President Goma once said in Koinadugu?
Exit strategy of what?
So do you consider this ones to be an exit strategy? So you don't leave office and at the end of the day
you have
sleep in the hut?
Do you really want to leave office and take taxi to it? No, we have to be realistic. Politics is not a game of mathematics. It's a practical thing. We have to tell ourselves the truth. Do you really want Salim, my brother? Do you really want me as your brother, Mohamed Bangura, after being President Kurmachi, you are no more minister? You really want to vote Puda?
So it means...
No, Salim Asabi, do you really want to wish that for your brother?
I'm not wishing that.
Very good.
But it means...
So you're also accused of selling the country's passport during your reign. Why?
Well, when you say during my reign...
when you were in power.
Not when I was liaison. I only got involved with the passport because I was the liaison over the Ministry of International Affairs or Foreign Affairs. Put the way you've put it, it gives the wrong impression, like you take a piece of document and you go stand somewhere, it costs 10 million, can you buy it? No. We have programs like that around the world. We are in, you can actually have a US passport, you can have a Canadian passport if you invest a certain amount of money in the US or in the UK and so on and so forth. That program had been started by the APC. It was on. In fact, when we took over, the government instituted an investigation into that program. When we realized that this was at the time when Hong Kong was about to be reverted to Chinese leadership, and Macau, most of these people did not want to go under the Chinese, so they were looking for to carry other passports. So this program had been working, had been there even before we took over, and we wanted to stop it. When we investigated further, we realized that yes, that's a good program. The details of it, I cannot go into it. I was directly involved. It was under my supervision, that particular ministry, and that program, we decided that it should continue. Why? We were faced with a situation wherein the World Bank and the IMF said we cannot take a penny from our treasury to fight the war. In the middle of one of Africa's crudest wars, we were not allowed to take any money to fight, to defend ourselves, talk less of the country. It was easier using the proceeds from that to buy arms and ammunition, and that was how some of us got involved with that. It was not as simple as taking a document, national document, and selling it.
So it was about raising money?
Of course. We used that for arms and ammunition. I refused talking about this for a very long time because I especially at the time when they started talking about it, because it's a matter of national security. The RUF would have been happy to know that we didn't have money, that we were even selling our own passport to buy arms and ammunition. That would have been a breach of national security. So for a very long time, I would just keep quiet when people talk about it. I wasn't involved. It was not during my reign. I was in charge. I was at the helm of this nation for only 3 months. But of course, I was in charge of the ministries of finance and foreign affairs, under which hegemony this process went on.
And I welcome back. Will be mentioned the reason why I played on there. I will make reference to with passport being compromised and with president we also accept responsibility and it give way a bit of a detail, even though I'm going to another year for in ourselves. The other thing I've been thinking when they talk about witch hunts, this is now authentic evidence from Major retired Paulo of waiting experience before he can finally get into this situation where he find himself.
My name retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte, former Minister of Defense, former CEO of the National Ebola Response Center, and former Minister of Internal Affairs in the last government. I decided for the unusual, that is for the video recording, just to explain to the people of Sierra Leone and people outside Sierra Leone what I had go through for the last 1 year, 4 or 5 months. If you all can recall, on the 2nd of April last year, the Secretary General of the SLPP will do a press conference at the Simbro Hotel, where he accused me, say me and some senior officers in the plan for assassinate the SLPP presidential candidate when we were there, retired Julius Maada Bio. And later, the council said not to be two. And then a few weeks later, after the election gone, the result don't come out, I decided to go McKinney, for go relax and just get on with me on life. Then the publicity sector, Radio Democracy 98.1, accused me, say me and President Nkrumah, they keep meeting at Makeni. And later, they find out, say, not so too. So after a few weeks, I decided to go on holidays, for go rest. I went overseas. And on the 7th of July 2018, whilst abroad, I say they can raid me, Osna, Wilberforce, say I get arms and ammunition, I plan this and that and so on. Since then, we tend to be CID. Nobody never charged me, nobody never take the thing further. And then in December of 2018, I get news say the Commission of Inquiry they commence in January, and so I decide out of free will, I said I come back for face the Commission of Inquiry. So on the 24th of December 2018, I arrived in Freetown, my airport, and take me diplomatic passport, which was fine by me because I'm entitled to it. And then on the 28th of December, barely 3-4 days I can salon of my own free will. Anti-corruption arrest me, keep me aside for 3 days. They ask me questions for contact and Ministry of Defense way, not to my own time. And the CID they again interview me about the tent they wouldn't phenomenon and boxes they wouldn't say contain ammunition with, not to ammunition boxes. And so since then, I believe a quiet life. I don't get involved in a lot of things. I just keep myself to myself and my family. Yesterday, Wednesday, the 31st of July, the Anti-Corruption Commission called me, saying they want to interview me. I go there, they ask me about donations, about Ebola, where they play in a state house. I say, not to me on 10, and then they recorded it, and they accommodate. Today now, Thursday, I did a meeting with my colleagues there, and then I get a call, say, 12 police there na Meos, na Aberdeen. So I went to Aberdeen, I go there, I meet 4 police officers, and I say, what's happening? I say, they don't take me, say, na crime scene. I say, oh, na anti-corruption doing there. So I went to the anti-corruption, I went directly to see the anti-corruption commissioner. And I explained to her, I said, well, really not today, na Commission of Inquiry. And so he asked me for contact. AIG retired, Mori Lengo. I called him when I got back to Aberdeen. And he said, well, they retired for get owner who know that own the property. I said, so why didn't you contact my legal representative at the Commission of Inquiry? Why didn't you write to me and ask for ownership? Me and Apostle don't declare my property there from 2007 to 2018 religiously. Every year they declare my property there. As the law even provides, say, when you don't know your job, you exit asset declaration. I have also done that. And that property is part of my asset declaration. So I was surprised to see the police then go there, go lock my property and they go take this in a scenes of crime. I just wanted people of Sierra Leone, say, I have worked for Sierra Leone. I'm not being boastful. I have worked for Sierra Leone. What is the crime? Working for Sierra Leone. What I do? I'm a disciplinarian, and nothing will change that. And I put Sierra Leone first. I put Sierra Leone first because I work for my country. Now, this way they want for pay me, for harass me life. In 6 months, they don't interview me over 6 times. The ACC and the CID. Just as you don't, they call me, they want to interview me for so and so. And I've kept myself to myself. So I just wanted the people of Sierra Leone know that this property when they talk about, it is my property. And I have declared it. If they want to know who's I put money for bar, they should ask me. And I came to Sierra Leone of my own free volition. Nobody no force me. Now me can't say I want to come because of Commission of Inquiry. I just talk this, let people out there, because a lot of people they call from the States, from London, who have been usefully, they ask me what's happening. This is the situation. And I'm just a peaceful Sierra Leonean, law-abiding, and a disciplinarian. So what's the crime? So I just want to let all man know say that happened. As at now, as I speak, the police, they don't accommodate, they don't pull the scene of crime safely. They say I for just choosing and get the property. And it's my property. I cannot run away from that. You know, so I wish all man well. I wish Sierra Leone to be peaceful and they will continue on the trajectory of development. But it is getting up to here, this harassment and intimidation, and particularly for some of the people who are just peaceful, they get on with me, normal life. I'm able to take up job now because I'm waiting for the Commission of Inquiry to finish. There are people who want to hire me, but they can't hire me because the integrity there on the line is not being proven. You know, so I just say I do this video, something I not ever do, not ever go public, but I decide for let the outside world know what's going to happen. Thank you very much.
And welcome back. This is not a very, very sad one and an authentic evidence of the experience of waiting Major retired Paulo go through. They talk about the intimidation, the harassment within the period of 6 months. They don't call him back and forth for 6 months because he loving country. Go back. It reminds Sierra Leone that he's a law-abiding citizen. He's peaceful and he's a disciplinarian. And not they bother anybody just in a corner. But every second they call him back and forth, back and forth. Unfortunately, till they get into Usa Ideso today. We pray that God will continue to give him strength and he will find a way out soon and be back with his family then. Rather unfortunate. We as Sierra Leonean would not for the truth we say this way at the end of the day. It no matter whose political party somebody find himself, what I believe say wrong is wrong. And no Sierra Leonean enough experience that, whether you're SLPP, APC. So these are all parts of backing up some of the statements they want to make. If they fight corruption or if they try for be fair, then of course things like that not for happen. So for now we go with the nitty gritty and how you call them, address the black and white for that paper. We get for address this first. We go land we. Like I say, if even tomorrow not enough, we get forget panelists then tomorrow as well. If you're not enough, we get more days until we get to the bottom of this white paper here. So now see what else I want to share with Tina. Then also I want to share some of the concerns them of Sierra Leoneans them around the world. Well, some of where they either England, some then they now Sierra Leone, and the list goes on. Not start first, as a matter of fact, one of the strong supporter of the Sierra Leone People's Party, when I call Madam Memunatu Rappel. Now we start with since if you're concerned. So now we know say the same thing where we sitting president the fight against when a corruption. Madam Memunatu Rappel about couple weeks ago, instead been bring this concern in a yeri for in herself.
Yes, me fumble them. The town crier don't come on a do. The town crier don't come on a do. Table the dark. When you see the really table, don't say don't bolo down for one at the top. It's a lot people them I get that. All my forget and I cut my It's a lot people them all man forget that na in court barre. When you see you read this court barre in tini knock so bang 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 bang. No say trouble down for them. Don't bolo down for them at the city. Papa be trouble down for them. Papa government. Una where they run accounts. Una where they na finance building. Una where they usa una day. Most of them manage how that they get access to government couple just like that without a twinkle of an eye. How is it happening? I make the corruption or they done. How can a director they just have access to government couple like that? They do anything like for saying that in your personal couple without asking if Miss Allo people then. Papa government, Papa inspector, Papa finance master, JJ Safa, how welcome director, people that were there in charge for one department, they get government couple just like that, just a twinkle of an eye. They go do things without thinking, like for say, if na the young couple, they go just dey buy and waste like that. Now the same waste APC do so tey na im dey begin small tey na im dey rent salon. Dis people no dey gree. Dis people no dey gree whether na me party o not to be party o. I no wan know that the district salon people dem, some people dem dey today from when they wake they no eat it. Salon people like all this na corruption of the highest degree before them. Papa director, general director, Mr. Julius, are you get this message? Papa Bio, the National Mineral Agency, the director of that place, what they call NMA, it don't cause big offense to salon people there. Papa Bio, the National Mineral Agency director, where you put there, where you just give job, it don't begin dabaru the office. Yes, it don't begin dabaru. Papa Inspector, Papa Julius, General.
And sorry, I see I get a question. Mr. Patrick, you say if this is related to the topic, absolutely. The woman, they talk about corruption at this current administration. So again, I think so you come late. For now, we hold somebody accountable. We get for stand as a role model. You understand? We're not going to cry foul on somebody, call person thief. Then if you they do the same thing, then it become double standard, it become hypocritical, it become witch hunts, and the list goes on.
Director, the thing we do is a serious offense of the first order. It's an insult, Papa Director, because what you do, Papa Director, this thing we do so don't show for say we Africa, we Sierra Leoneans, we really don't know, because the money you see at one place, you just feel say you get the right for use and do anything when you like. You know how for manage, you know how for fix, you know how for do anything, you just take orders because you're not director, not sir, and government couple, and the money where they account for. Anybody will tamper with government in, anybody will bring waste can at this government, anybody will do thing will not comply with the laws. If the parliament not announce, if the Papa government not announce, we inside the radio rappel, once he reach we place, we they make noise. Yes? We they make noise. We they make noise, let Papa Bio you read this. We they make noise, let Papa government you read this. We they make noise back, let the entire country you read this, say that this time they grown. We they make noise, say they sort that problem they out. Mr. Low people, they can't stop come on and do. The man where Papa Bio just give job, it don't begin show in Bonicali business inside salon money. Mr. Julius, when are the general director for the National Mineral Agency, it don't cause offense. There was an old vehicle where belong to this department, where the registration number na A for Apple, H for Harry, R for Romeo. 550 and a white one. Now in suppose Mr. Director, Mr. Julius for the use. But Mr. Julius say the motorcar not they run fine. The motorcar engine not fast. The motorcar engine they pull oil. Mr. Julius don't know for say if for send inspector them people the way they maintenance motorcar, let them fix it. What did Mr. Julius do? But before that, there were other 2 new Prados where he buy, where the registration are NMA 001, where for be for the director, then NMA 002, where for be for the deputy director. Waiting happy me fabu them. Then 2 motokaya, then park. Now Papa Julius in compound. They say no they work. Papa Julius when a director no say for call mechanic, let the car fix them motokaya. And prior to that, the white one where be they use, he say no they run fast. What did Papa Julius do me fabulem? Papa Julius now, he go he go buy new motor car. Me salon people dem. Papa Julius go use salon couple and go buy motor car wey cost 500 million leons. Me salon people dem. 500 million leons. Me salon people dem. Now so Mr. Julius don't do it, don't shit, bad shit by salon people dem. He take 500 million leons, he go buy new motor car. This new motor car again, now they use now. So why Papa Julius not feel say for 603 new motor car wey pack the new? They alright, they work. No, what did Papa Julius do? He not take command, he not ask parliament, he not take excuse, he just take salon couple because what he do, he get access to the money. Papa Julius saying a director, you don't need for answer to nobody. Yes, you have to answer to us. We go pull it wasted a do. Papa Julius take 500 million, he go buy new motor car again. Wait to me. Now waste. Papa Bio, I want to hear this case. Mr. Julius now, when are the director, they don't call her to parliament. For let go answer question about this 500 million vehicle we don't buy on top. Where we say now, we don't get 4 motor car them back for this one great director. Now, 3 cars them back inside the compound. When not they work, when Papa Julius not ready for fix, then you go buy other 4th one wey cost 500 million euros. When now they use. And when pass the deputy director and other managers them, motor car they wey them for use if they want go apply and all let them they be fabulous. Wetin they do? Then we director then we people when they do the job, then we people they no say country tranger, then we people they inside motor car them, then they waka, then they see people and they sell plaza street, then they see people and they sell patch granite, then they see woman and the baba and pikin and sit on top of Okada. Wetin they do? They not sabi for manage their own motor car when they get. Wetin they can do, then director and then deputy director, then they hire motor car. Then they go rent a car from that company where they call Flash. This Flash company, it rent vehicle to government workers them $100 a day. $100, the tank full up, you can use them for a day. But when they bring the motor car back, you for full up the tank back. So meaning that petrol where they give you, not to free. Me salon people them. This are the news at Flash, this are the wastage and all this rentage business here. So when they go rent car to this Flash company, so all the government workers are part of this corruption, that pure corruption. Some of them, whether not a syndicate that they do with this Flash company, for the left government vehicle, they go rent motor car for $100 a day. Papa Bio, you be not talk say, let nobody not pay us for dollar. Let nobody not use dollar as salon. How come we they pay this company $100 a day? This is the question I'm asking. Papa Bio, the question is, does it mean say the message where they get away and the message where they happen at the ground are different thing? Salon na leos we they use, but then company and they take dollar. What is going on, Miss Salon people then? This are the news at Flash today, September the 3rd, a Thursday. Our Papa inspector them, Papa finance minister, Papa parliament, Papa Bundu. If you hear this, if you silence, I want to go into the matter of this thing. I don't make known to salon people that say Papa Julius not broke the law. Papa Julius, government couple not to yield. Papa Julius, you don't go just sit down and buy motor car 50 fata, you know they ask. Papa Julius, there is something what we call repair. When something among that for repair, you know they just they go now, but they use government money picking and they angry. They spend them. Would have them for high life. No sir, it don't happen. Will they make noise? Me fable them. Una share let good Sierra Leone and the year. Let the message go round. Let reach Papa Bio. Say Papa Julius, that man we employ. You don't begin the scatter bad shit the road. And then shit ya in one girl way shit and then go come back. He can't be back before them. Do share. Thank you very much.
And I excuse any of the language we find for being.
And thanks for listening.
Yeah, we're in a fine for be a bit offensive, as in the word where they use the last few words we use. I apologize for any inconvenience. So the reason why I play that, like I say, one thing where we all establish is that corruption must die whatever way possible. For now, we go able to build we economy, but at the same time, we cannot select who that we they all accountable versus who that we need they all accountable, and we don't get series of concern with this administration. So it's fair that we all everybody accountable, not only the main opposition or anybody when they share the same ideology of this administration. Another saga will be happening. We also similarly to the submission of that woman. Obviously there's corruption where they into the nitty-gritty of it. Now play it. It's about 3 audio and then another gentleman come and buttress on the other one. So in our patience, please. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me bring that. Let me look for those. As a matter of fact, now play one of the lawyer in Sefion submission. I think they may interview on our AYV, if I'm not sorry, 98.1. Now play that while they look for the other one. Them.
Company lawyer them we been represent them people here for talk on behalf of them. Waiting at the feeling this morning as at 12 today, the government's white paper will come out for sake of the commission. Who's are you getting up for them people here?
Well, we are patiently waiting to see waiting will come out inside the white paper. We government don't decide for who today. But like I just talked to family and say this. In principle, the client area represents that the Commission of Inquiry not the address for me to ask them for accounts for the stewardship of the various public offices in the hold. Don't forget to say, not only privilege for me to ask you for serve na a public office in the country. So there is a corresponding obligation to be accountable to the public. But what you need to understand is this, that in the process of holding past government officials accountable for the stewardship of the offices they will own, we must also do so according to what the law says. The public will recall saying, when the commissions of inquiry starts, the first thing we do as defense lawyers and for take a jurisdictional objection to the commission of inquiry in process on the grounds that it lacks jurisdictional competence. That is, although the commissions of inquiry was properly formed, was not able to operate on grounds that they were put together the rules and regulations and practice and procedures which will govern the commissions of inquiry as provided for by section 150. We take this objection at the same commissions of inquiry. They overruled it. Then the next step was that some of the persons of interest filed at the Supreme Court, they seek an interpretation of section 150 and in the process also ask for the stay of proceedings of the commissions of inquiry until that question is answered. And the Bar Association, when a body we make up of all the lawyers in the country, also filed similar applications. But till today, they file the deal, they don't have some freedom, they won't assign them. And this is injustice. You know, when you say that might is right, then there cannot be justice. This is raw power. When government they exercise that the people they right for challenge certain issues that are the Supreme Court will go on hard whilst in the rush. I mean, that application they will be filed at Supreme Court. It takes 1 or 2 days for Agiam and let the Supreme Court give decision. But we spent about 1 year, 6 months in the commissions of inquiry. We spent another 6 months doing a white paper. So why is it the time for the all entire use taxpayers' money? Why is the central issue on whether or not the commission can proceed without regulating the practice and procedure? You need to forget that because of the Supreme Court. That is the central question here.
Mr. Macaulay, as you said, don't state right from the beginning, una didn't get issues them we una be want clarifications on. But despite that, the clarifications them we una be ask for, una not get answers to una questions them. But the commission been continue for doing work to an extent where we see then done the work when they do and present the recommendations then to government and the white paper they come out today with all of them seeing the way una get in mind. Waiting na the expectations of seeing them where they inside the white paper where they come out today.
Well, to be honest with you, as I say, I don't want to prejudge waiting at the white paper, but from the interview of the Minister of Information, Honorable Rado Swayi, he basically don't tell me saying scandalous things that they inside it. Well, it is equally scandalous for denying people their justice because our problem is this. How could we say that we get justice at the commissions of inquiry when in fact they don't do what they're supposed to do? And let me say this. As far as the clients are concerned, the commissions of inquiry had no jurisdiction or competence for it. As a result, everything we then do was null and void. With equally any other step, including the white paper, we will follow within the report says for be considered null and void. That is our expectation until the application will be filed at Supreme Court. The Supreme Court hear and tell me waiting at the interpretation of Section 150.
You don't state say una go consider the white paper and waiting the day null and void because they're not going to respond to una young questions them right from the initial stage of the commissions of inquiry. From waiting the minister say all other things now before the commission where the recommendation them don't come out inside this white paper. After the white paper, therefore they ask for refund of money them and say for taking back waiting they don't fair not say people and they take illegally. Does that mean you clients they not will get for give back waiting the white paper go say let some of them give because of waiting the commission fair not?
Well, let I just make this very clear. As I said in the opening, we clients them are law abiding citizens and then will follow what the law say then be able to do when they face circumstances where justice is adversely stacked against them. So if the commissions of inquiry a white paper come out as they come out this afternoon and there are any adverse findings against any of the clients that really represent, be sure that you will follow the law and appeal at the court of appeal. The constitution saying that you will forgo. And part of the appeal would be that we will continue to question the jurisdictional competence of the commissions of inquiry.
He's stating that we will not trust the outcome or where the white paper will get for proved this afternoon.
If the process is suspect, certainly it follows that the outcome will be suspect. And as we have seen, it has been suspect all along. Take, for example, all throughout the proceedings, we are glad we are here live. When the city we complain consistently, say that the serving papers they late. I they can give me documents we made up of 200 pages. 10 minutes before they are in the start, you expect me to go through all the documents and cross-examine the witness who they can talk on them. This was just basically one of the ways that we then serve injustice to the persons of interest we appear before the commissions of inquiry.
So you cleanse them from the period where the commission starts to now. Get any lessons where they don't learn?
The lessons are that they, as past public officials, that they are accountable for their stewardship, which they are not running away from. But the lessons are that when you are in office, you must always follow the law, and that is what they're asking for. They're asking the people that within our office now, the present government will be accused of wrongdoing. Not for perpetuate wrongdoing in the process of asking them that question. That is the important issue now we say unions and not forget. Saying the process matter. If people not trust the process, whatever outcomes or results come out of that process, they be suspect and people will trust them.
Mr. Macaulay, before you left on the line this morning, then people here will represent now the Commission of Inquiry gets large following because now team them we get to do with politics. And we all know how politics they play in a salon. See the commission, the white paper they come out from government. Whose message they send to the followers them of the people them will be represent the commission, including ex-president Ernest Bai Koroma. What's the message to them followers them as to, because earlier you don't say when I come and when they wait for waiting the command of the paper. Waiting you expect from the followers them of them people here as well.
Well, the expectation of every single union is this, that we don't see all throughout the process during the commissions of inquiry, the persons of interest we represent, we are robustly represented, competently represented, and therefore the rest assured says whatever outcome we can be adverse to the interest, look at it, we go team up and question the outcome of the white paper. Now, court, and we are very much ready, willing, and able to go back to the court. We feel saying we forget justice or represent we trying to win at the persons of interest. But before completing the interview, you know the very important issue. You ask the honorary minister saying if they invite from if they invite the lawyers in a commission to inquiry. Of course, some of us were expecting an invitation because when you talk about the commission to inquiry, not just made up of the judges, not just made up of the prosecution, but also the lawyers that we represent. This is just a common courtesy. We did not extend to we at the time in the hand of the commission to inquiry report, and we not extend to and this is the problem. You want to make people that accept processes more inclusive. And you cannot have an inclusive acceptance. You only pander to you young people the way you represent, but not other people the way you think for being into the process. I mean, this is a process for all Sierra but not just for a selected few.
All right. Many thanks to you, Adi Macaulay, for giving the opportunity for here on our own side. As today, the Commission of Inquiry white paper from government will get for come out. That's the Adi Macaulay where we be the listen to, and one person when a lawyer will be the represent former Ernest Bai, President Ernest Bai Koroma, now the Commission of Inquiry.
All right, and I don't listen to that. So they take a quick break with the camera right back, and I thank you.
Them say then they fixed in them make we wait. From where them born we dey no more, we dey wait. Just dey wait. Government they come and go and left we pan the bay. Big debate. Another generation don't come meet we pan the way. Welcome to the way. You will still no say na boom bamboo you late. You late. Even though man them I chair pan altin. When I say altin I mean altin. All these things them where they happen na the country. We cherry I pan altin. But the man they no begin them bagbati. They don't begin them bagbati. We are on no left hand bagbati back take. Na leg go be your body. But the man they don't begin them bagbati. They don't begin them bagbati. Now so then go let man and sabi time done then fail with your body. All man don't stand at his attention. All man want make impression. What see me go say? Watch me back. Look how I Becky. Tomorrow on we don't know. Today on the team morning. Everybody waiting for the miracle like hot color rest na fire. Hey, we dey be a no more but enough funny. Occupy we no know how government they run. Una been say una know. But una explanation don't become boring. It can make a one for sleep. We dey be a no more but enough funny. Frustration they climb the mountains. All man back tormenting.
From one stress to the next thinking, make man them colomenting. Got a man and they come, got a man and they go. The people in life na same. So we no get for tire for complain. Although them don't begin say we gladly. If na joke than the joke, say we the grumble because we bell full enough funny. Una no get play to a hungry man. A hungry man is an angry man. Now the same boy na him talk say in 6 months he dey fix the economy. Let's see no more. Now the same man come back and give we back talk. Una been say una get all the solution, but we don't understand any longer. Una been say una get this, it's easy, una mentally advanced. Where all the bookman them way, una been the talk say ready for the dance. I remember the talk where the baby the talk say only the fish a big finance. Where all the idea them, we go make we live like family. Where the rest una the plan, the seed no they grow, na shataban. Una not tell we but una degree, una show we if una sabi. Facility not dey na hospital, till then they dear about. Una not tell we but una degree, show we waiting una sabi. The economy still shitty, life of citizens shitty. If na quality education, make una picking then can taste am. How long una go dey and talk? Na talk no more una dey talk. If not ordinary talk, by now man for the shock. How man they still get book? Now who that they deliver on a buy party picking? Man them must have make ground soak. Now then they get to walk back on a the pine party them. The kind way safe way man and they handle team them say lots. See the worker and they strike and they hold them money they know and pay them. Tell me if una go like, if na una then they do so. He don't say where they want bluff. Money for we well body one then go buy motor car.
From what I know, the government purchased 30 brand new SUVs.
Okay, you read the other one.
No, those vehicles were not brand new SUVs, all 30 of them.
Okay, you read the other one back.
Only 4 SUVs for this regional coordinators.
Okay, well now you read this one back.
There are no SUVs. We call them Toyota Prado.
Well, now the Munku them boss. Then why come by packet? You cannot give what you don't have. If you are not, you are not. COVID patient, then this gone, cause then lego them na dirty quarantine. Nobody not care, then just go lego them so that the dirty quarantine. And now the Munku them boss. So then why I come by packet? Put another Munku boy, we want come name area, them by party. Oh, this Munku boy just they take people and they pity fatter. Don't the police and no SD, then just they harass people all lawfully. Put another Munku boy where they pop and down with gun, they misbehave. Put another Munku boy, he meets bridge can name me hard pan the name. Wetin the party do, the buying power now who da lock and a boatman suit. Wetin do the soldier man, the one where the people like vote for, where the discipline talk. For the government to carry them after hours. Where the discipline talk, man and don't begin they go work anyhow. Where the discipline talk, some man know they do them work then they eat money no more. Where the discipline talk, then just they bill no more. But by all than they back the man me say I'm of justice. They begin give we back and they back. They fair no that they give we. Then just they go, man and they feel themselves and people they suffer. Then just they go, people they suffer, man then they talk no more. Them just they go, them higher, they talk book no more. Say then they pan walk, we not see it too, we they wait no more. We are out in they go, while they same thing no more. This now them go begin life and COVID. Say now you come and pump them, pump no more. The country na same old same people they suffer. Whoa, whoa. Anyone way come go ton we, they don't say we na coconutted. Anyone way come go ton we, they don't say we na coconutted. The man then don't know say we they go up and down with coconut head. They don't put we inside the ones where then they beat we they dance coconut head. All them sharp bubble entity, everybody dancing coconut head. Sharp bubble entity, steady they dance to the coconut head. It's a hustle, yes so it is a hustle. Every day na the ghetto na hustle, mental hustle. Them boys they running, see them girls hustling, hustle to survive. Hustle, mental hustle. Young boys them brutal, young girls them brutal. Every day man in the brutal, every day man in the brutal, every day man in the brutal. Brutal for survival. Hustle, mental hustle. The kind where man in the think survive and the people know what man in the do. Hey, for no more man survive. Hey, we know a new definition for the word culture. We know a new name in ceremony for the word culture. You know go they do it in you been they criticize, then you want call them change. man then they wise up every day wide, and I saw the eyes then they open. If una want to na speak all kind English, or una say we dey talk rubbish, una go hear we every night, every morning. Anybody we put you in Tumba go come on and do early morning. How they chap on the power, so then go hang over in the morning. Them be no say we messed up mentally, but them promise new direction. Now for that to na land book, then don't go read book for can conco the bank. Can see book man thief, abracadabra the money foop in the shadows. As we dey pull dignity pan the country, then they wear pan a bigger man clothes. Dressing up then corruption fine one, they wear pan a book man clothes. Una look that poor boy just they run the end then lily cockroach. But the back with them pan the business, say no.
Okay. And welcome back. That's Leadway 2, one of the panelists where they join with today. Like I say, the first side is holding oneself accountable. So the first thing we'll do is we'll present some of the things them for NRC. Like how I say, we always say at this platform. Now we critically analyze things. Now we use we mind for critically analyze things beyond the lens of partisan or beyond the lens of tribalism, and the list goes on, but rather in the interest of our country. So I want to take this opportunity now for welcome one of our panelists, we're a civil society activist. Welcome, sir. Take this opportunity for introduce yourself. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Khadija. Haji Mohammed Warise. We've been the head Democracy Sierra Leone, a civil society group where I make huge contribution to Sierra Leone body politics, like the civil society landscape, assisting people that were vulnerable for ensure say they get voice during the elections in Sierra Leone. People that were want justice, we did it for sound the alarm bell, so that certain people that want justice, like picking them, like woman them. Basically, throughout my life, I don't live for serve and work for humanity, because before I become coordinator for Democracy Sierra Leone, I've been work for one international organization. We've been doing it. Poor people them, school picking them, plenty team that with them in Putampan as Sierra Leone. So long and short, that I'm introduction.
Wonderful, sir. Welcome once again. Put your camera down a little so then go see your face, see the cut a little bit. Oh yeah, thank you, Mr. Usman Conte. Thank you. Bring it down a little bit, sir, so that way then go see your face. Yeah. Well, the thing we land with here today now the quote unquote referred to as a white paper, where basically na for the previous administration give account of waiting they don't do for the country. So I want to we be fair, that we go right to the point. We don't start today. This we might have to stretch to the next few days. But the first things them, I don't know if you'll be able to follow through. All we tell they present at first. But I want to go ahead and you give your own take of waiting you don't see so far, because I don't read the entirety yet, but I don't know how far you don't go if you're able to read all. Now you come in and give your own take on it.
Thank you very much, Khadija.
You're welcome.
Most times when I report here come out, I don't care outside come out, I don't care how that item. Things say now obligation for me to read on, because apart from anything, I supposed to know about what thing they happen. Now the country we are concerned about, the country where I left, the country where I don't live for over 40 years, So I really don't go through them. I don't, like any other normal person, I don't read them, I don't try for make sense out of them. But honestly, my own sense what I make out of them, the fact say the report full of malice, the report full of one-sidedness, the report full of hate, where you just hate somebody, you think say before go all out for bring and calm down, Now we see inside the white paper, not to the report, because that's not the other big point, Khadija. The actual report up to this day, government now released the actual report. Where now concern for anybody where believe in Sierra Leone, anybody where they follow Sierra Leone, anybody who want for see justice. Now a serious concern for we all. Khadija, during midterm, why did they work in Sierra Leone as an activist? And one day I not ever condone anything we go for with corruption. I always don't condemn corruption. I don't care whether I'm a former president, I do corruption, whether I'm a minister and do corruption, whether I don't care. Always, as I read the word corruption, na my responsibility, na my duty for condemning. However, what to make this particular commission of inquiry, it gets so many problems, it gets so many challenges, you know, get wider acceptance, especially from people that will get independent minds. I listened to civil society this morning, you know, the 98.1, where they may discuss. I listen to them. You listen to independent minds. When they talk to you, you understand, say, okay. So certain people that don't say, I just still way. For me, when they level headed, when they understand what they want, when they understand what they do. The report, I never attend the court because I never do it. The report gets so many flaws. Or the white paper gets so many flaws where government release. And for me, I think say it's a sad chapter now with history. And for me, I think say anybody will let peace na Sierra Leone for even for talk to the president, tell us say the report, you need for withdraw them, let them go fix them properly and come back for come sell them to the public, because you don't forget national buy-in. You know, Khadija, the law, the two they talk about nothing we get for do with legality. You know, go say now what you feel, that go happen na law. No, law not they apply that way. If you say now what you feel, if you say now what that you want for all, if you say now what that you think say people foresee as corrupt, then yourself don't in turn continue for don't in turn behave corruptly, because you say you can't fight corruption. You know, for fight corruption, by corrupt means, you keep the reports, like not to transparency. You know they call it transparency. You hide what's inside the report where the commission has them, where they find, you hide them until you don't produce the white paper today. Then people then we can call persons of interest. Then they get people that will represent them, I believe. They may get lawyers them and all of that. Then lawyers and they when I don't serve them with them document and when I don't give them paper, they when I don't show them then document and they say, I mean, transparency. You understand? Transparency. Show them, say, then documents there, look the report. In fact, Madam, we as government don't come up with this white paper. You know, but Khadija, as we go and we discuss that the thing that we pick inside the report, I think say very, very shameful, and I think say we're not for
give a blind eye
politics. We're not for play that kind of politics okay. Because I know too small for play that kind of politics. If you say that follow sees most of people them where they work in our government, thousands of houses get for the seized. You understand? Thousands of houses get for the confiscated. But don't get me wrong, Khadija. This the statement where they make in no way not condone any corrupt practice, especially one where they find out legally. I give you one instance when the report where the defeat sponsor will come out, I send a private message to the Anti-Corruption Commissioner boss. I send a private message to them because, of course, my young man left me now. I get 8%, of course, but my young man left me, and he gets a long way from go. Ask him, what do they do about a situation outside people don't come out and confess, say, yes, we corrupt. He reply me, say, Mr. Wali, say, no worry, say, I will see action. But I'm surprised, what I see Mr. Pakwala do, now for ask people them, say, would I get evidence, say this person or parliament corrupt? Yeah, when I bring and come, would I get evidence, say they would give money to parliament or parliament? You understand? When I bring the evidence and they come for me. For me, it's very laughable. You know, in as much as I understand what they try for good, but it's very difficult for somebody can tell you, say, yes, people pay money to parliament. You understand? So for me, I mean, think, say, and the Anti-Corruption Commission for be able to say, Mr. Gevao can't tell me about this corruption we accept, we answer to before the whole world. Because at BBC you talk to where you say, yes, parliament corrupt. Can't tell you about this corruption we don't agree to. For me, I think so that they for us, start and show other people and say, when you didn't have government, you don't be careless about government. For me, that is self-confession. So anything we get for do with corruption, Khadija, I know they condone them, I know like them, I know want for participate from. That make it very, very difficult for me, even though I've been work as civil society, I've been owe money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, one day you hear me, donor and come meet me, say, Mr. Wali, say, go for explain for this money, go for explain for that money. I know here, if I go to the house, maybe begin and sleep angry, when God not make it happen for me, I just say, I don't worry, as long as for me, I maintain my name, as long as I ensure say the money with them approve for ensure say the people them benefit from, then go and benefit from their money and they for me, I always concern us always. And I think so that life day so that life day we for inculcate. However, that not mean say because we have fed corruption, you will come and look at people them where you know say definitely this not just saying about political rivals, you don't get evidence on them. You just say, okay, let's cook up the evidence there just because these people are political rivals, man make them against them. So for me, I think say it's dangerous for stability, dangerous for peace, and like I said, Khadija, as we go, I will come small. Or if you get questions, you ask.
Well stated, well stated. So when you look at the entirety for some of the areas, then we ring a bell or we make you look very much concerned or alarming to you. If you can name some of those areas, what are those areas, or you know, we.
Make I give one very interesting one.
Yeah.
You know, I see the report say Dr. Samura Kamara between social term and social term own 30 vehicles. What in the report not tell me, or what maybe inside the report, what in the report not tell me, now which kind of condition that vehicle a day, now how you acquire that vehicle a day, so you understand. Of course we don't serve, we don't work in a World Bank, of course we don't work with government, of course we don't become a bank governor, of course you understand. For me, it demeaning that you want to tell people that say, not come to government, or not come for can serve the country. Because if you say this man not for own 30 vehicles, between social term and social term, if you go explain about that one day, like I give you this. Me, Naya, when I begin buying motor car, na 2004. So 2018, I know say I use over 12 motor car. Me, ordinary me. I use over 12 vehicles from 2004 to 2018 when I left Sierra Leone. I used over 12 vehicles. So how much more that man we don't claim almost to the highest office. You understand, at the land, don't become World Bank staff for many years. You don't come out the Kamado invite, you don't come be financial sector. Come on. You know, so for me, then the way you put now the report, what you do, you tell me say, this man is a political rival, and I make you think say, if you rope up any kind of way, if you just so for me it discredits the report. You get another instance again where I read where say the former president he throughout in tenure, you understand? Throughout in tenure now 4.5 billion I make. When I read the report at first glance, I said, no, hold on. I said, it's not possible. I said, because maybe I said this money not put in trillions because I don't see billion. You know, honestly, I don't see billion because I already imagine say you Mother will tell me say an escroma now 4 billion no more he make from 2007 to 2018 where he left office, including in earnings from a private business, his salaries as president, a emolument, you understand? So it sounds funny. So maybe miscalculate the money for trillion, in fact. Maybe miscalculate the money for trillion. Now somebody draw me attention, say, no, Mr. Warise, you say that money will they put in us. He said, I don't hear yourself. I said, no, I said, you say government can write certain figures, no government they write. They just they put them because they avoid the plenty zeros, they just they put them in trillion. I said, maybe not that end. Now you say no. And honestly, that's not what happened. So what you do, you undervalue the man in earning. The man will not say, I get the biggest insurance company in Sierra Leone. The man will not say, if you don't become chairman for the board of insurance in West Africa, the man will not say, if you go to parliament for 5 years before, you understand, before you become president, you tell me, say that man for own 2 O's. You tell me, say that man for own 2 O's. You look at 1 O's, for example, where in fact, the man gets up according to the evidence we then present by the Commission of Inquiry. That O's has followed to the man get up. And that O's, me, no, they buy that O's for $1 million. But you, President, President Bill, the white paper tell you say that report cost $5 million. Khadija, I challenge any Sierra Leonean who will listen to this program. Then they can employ one dwelling house. My Sierra Leone cost up to $2 million. In fact, you know, I'm not sure if you get that host there. We cost $2 million. I know host them, we managing directors and business. I know host them, big man, they will open a bank with them business. I know the cost of them host them. They run into hundreds of thousands of dollars. So when they tell me say that host weight map na Bluebell, it costs $5 million. What do? You overestimate the man in earning if you don't get the host at all. Then you underestimate, you devalue the earnings. You make the public yourself, anybody who is smart, when you look at their figures today, they will tell you, say, no, this report not make sense. So what you do as a government, you make a ridicule out of some people for them be a very good report, where we for not use as yardstick for begin for fight corruption seriously in Sierra Leone. And this is what I said, yeah? This is what I said in 2007 with the former president set up the Commission of Inquiry. As then begin for the issue, for begin draw, like say, oh, Lord, if this now Sierra Leoneans, or this now, I say this will come back for hunt una. I say because if you come to power, one part the first thing that we're supposed to do that was set up a genuine Commission of Inquiry where they investigate how people they manage the citizens their money for ensure say if they misappropriate them, if they mismanage their money, then for able pay back. Me, I be there against that very, very seriously for say in 2007 that commission was set up, not just left them because we the freight problem, because you know I'm trouble, because no, I don't think say that the right approach this, trust me, but that the wrong method that they use for pursue this particular approach where it will be a very good yardstick for the people of Sierra Leone understand. Say anytime you get office, now privilege. Anytime where they call you say can serve, now privilege. Anytime where they give you appointment, then they tell you say can take leadership for help the people them, not for come enrich yourself. But however, because they put things them now the report where no whole water, for me, it make I disrespect the whole report. I think say the best thing I for let Mother be withdraw. You know, shamefully withdraw. That for me, nothing wrong about that. It most times very, very important for let you don't do something and see and say no, you're wrong. Might take them back. Trust me, in your mind, mother you in mind, you convinced say, and else even in salaries, not take I take at minimum of $12,000 per month. Why calculate that money? Me and my sister they calculate that money this morning. I just take at $12,000 per month times 12 months times 10. That money, now plenty money. That money alone don't pass 4 billion. So for me, I wonder who say, we want to carry the country. I wonder also want to carry, the plenty malice. I wonder also want to carry this plenty division. Then I read the president, they address the nation where they talk about this white paper, the so-called white paper. They say, in a possible discipline. I was like, wait, Mr. President, not the president we write to Parliament, say they for pass a law, say they not for investigate COVID-19 money, where they don't give about over $100 million. You say not you. So for me, who say you pull discipline? Who say you pull the moral standing? I mean, no, I don't have to go into all that stuff. We don't talk about this particular commission for time.
Well stated. Thank you, sir. Yeah, before we go into other things, I want to take we back to a trip down memory lane. One of the posting them where they may exonerate today. So yesterday. Make a play. For now, we just recollect some of the words from this gentleman. When I will. Yeah.
I will always humble myself to say thank you, sir, Mr. President, and thank you, the All People's Congress. This appointment is not for Victor Fo, it is for you, the party. The All People's Congress is a party that appreciates service, that appreciates loyalty and devotion to what the party wants. And the All People's Congress does not believe in tribalism. The All People's Congress believes in national cohesion. Here I speak to you as your Vice President today. I am coming from Jimodago in the Blue District. I am a full-blown Hindi man. And here I am enjoying the number 2 slot in this party of national cohesion. This is a demonstration to all of our political parties. When you work for the All People's Congress, we have their payback time. We are a mass party, we have huge membership, we are in governance. I am sure not everybody has earned his or her pay, but please be patient and continue to be loyal and give your best of service to the President and this party, the All People's Congress. So once I go to my seat, I promise the President again that I will serve him. And I will attend and serve him. And I hope Allah will help me succeed to serve you like S.I. Koroma served President Shaka Stevens. That even when he was leaving, he said, yes, S.I., go and nominate Momo. He said, yes, sir. And he went and nominated Momo. That is how a vice president should be. The vice president should not put up argument with his boss, the president. Who am I? Out of this huge number in the party, I am selected by the president to serve him as number 2. And to all of you very senior party members, I say thank you for helping the president to choose me to serve you. I am your servant. I am not your boss. And I am your comrade and nothing else. And to the Muslims again, before I take my seat, please, the doors are open. In fact, I'm going to get into the Muslim community countrywide. I am already in youth. Ask the Southern region what I am doing for the mosque. Ask them. My wife equally comes from a Muslim background. We are there. So, President, sir, thank you again, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I promise I will not let you down. I will not let you down. I will ever serve you. I will ever be loyal. And to the party, don't doubt, it's the same Victor Fu.
All right, so this sorry, that's basically taking us down back to memory lane. So when you listen to that, and what you see after all this, and then you see, say, with then vice president at some point they may find him guilty for the voucher gate incident, and then you see, say, they may get concerned too with the Hajj gate. Then you see, say, someone like him not being gets any issue, then let him go. Waiting a your take on that area.
Well, thank you very much, Khadija. You see, me na one person, like I say, I repeat them, I will continue to repeat them. I despise corruption. I despise corruption so much. Trust me, I will repeat again. Say, I don't care who that you be. If they don't tell me say you mix from public corruption, or they don't tell me say you get anything to do with corruption, will lead to certain evidence will convince me or will convince the public. Trust me, I need to get along with you anymore. In fact, Khadija, that now one the reason we make have been strongly against Maada Bio becoming president of Sierra Leone. As a civil society, I understand what corruption mean. I understand what somebody will get corrupt tendencies, which it do to society. I understand within how corruption they keep me mama and me daddy them at the villages, not for get water well, ordinary water, we don't get clean water for letting them drink, and know what corruption mean. So that make anybody where they don't associate with corruption, we get we lead to serious evidence says this person mixed from corruption. Trust me, that person I not get respect for that anymore. I need to respect them, I not be believer, I not say them then corruption when they talk about today so now look at your phone and left farm, now look at the school, because now Victor Phone don't carry the belly to me. You know, so not to that they talk about. I mean, when we talk about genuine corruption, we say somebody really mixed from corruption. Victor Phone, a survivor. You know, as far as me concerned, Victor Phone, it will not reach a point where I've been stay very close to Victor Phone now Grassfield, Bumley. I've been stay very close to him. It will not reach a point where in the tomorrow morning, he wear a red coat, take Lapoda, you understand? They go to APC office, just run the whole day, they come. I mean, because if they don't get this baggage, we make all man knows, we all man may know for say, even before we born, say that people are there, they don't mix and corruption, a certain general and life. And I make always say, you know they go to bed with the dog way dirty. I don't want to cause dog that. I don't want to tell them because in America they should respect that thing and do. With dog way dirty, we go now baby dog way dirty, you they grab with fly. You know they associate with them people and they. This should be a lesson. Not to just to we or we picking them. But we help or pass on to we picking them. Anybody will get character problem. Anybody will get issue with corruption. Will not give in public office because the person already compromised. Can I make Victor Phone compromise so? Can I make it compromise in the trade offered for the whole life, the APC? Can I make it compromise so? Because afraid, you know, say you don't acquire wealth, you know, say you don't get property then way if this government can put check on them, you know say it will get problem. You understand? You know believe say he acquired maybe you not believe say acquire them property then they through illegal means or earn them by in sweat. So that make it compromise the way it compromise you. So for me, I'm not listen to this most of the time. The way they sell them in WhatsApp phone, I'm not listen to them, their voice nobody because they look at other people and what they expect much from. You understand? I want to learn from people and we get credibility in the society. I want to talk to people the way I not say why they talk to them, look into their eye, and not say they not get anything there for do it and corruption. I know they talk to honestly I know like for mingle and participate in discussion we get something we all man know say this thing. If for example, Marabio, today Sierra Leone don't get banned. Not to ban for just government officials then, ban for every other Sierra Leonean. You know, one day happen as Sierra Leone. You know, ever happen as Sierra Leone. You know, ever happen as Sierra Leone. Today Sierra Leone get banned. There's something very, very deep about that. Those Sierra Leoneans don't know. But I will come up with that discussion there later on. At the part in the investigation, I will finalize the investigation very, very soon. There's something very, very deep about that blanket ban we then give to every Sierra say they no get visa for Canada, America. Not to government officials anymore. Amada Bibo and Abbas go to them and they sell thousands of Sierra Leonean passports. They sell them around the world. Just sell them to any criminal. What you do because Sierra Leone get war and day. So when you get your own passport, anytime you go you seek asylum, then they give asylum easy. So that make them get opportunity to sell them passport a day, turn the money into their personal use. Mother they confess that one day. Now 98.1 during the run up to the election. So for me, that's what I always say. Anybody will get corrupt tendencies. Anybody will get background. Trust me, Khadija. I don't care what somebody will say. Why make you not like this person? Again, I'll get very, very good this way. I know they go close to people and they. I don't get nothing for doing there. I don't want nothing for doing them because I don't say what they represent my media against. So for me, it's unfortunate that President Kumar encouraged somebody like Victor Fo because of party in party affiliation or because he don't sacrifice of the party. But again, there was lesson for we the young one there, and we begin the wake up of come after. We say anybody will get that position of compromise. We say this in the future never compromise yourself. Not give public office. Not put on day. Because no matter what happen, in surname like corruption, it will be corrupt no matter what happen. Either this way or that way or the center way, it will be corrupt. You know, so no not believe on Victor Fo in issue. No.
Well,
I mean, and Motorman, if you not expect say another Motorman will betray you, it simply means say you know to human being. Because me picking yourself are born, why they take care of, why they feed, and they expect someday if you get some kind of situation, it will want to betray me. That honestly, that's not Motorman. You know, you don't forget very, very strong attributes. Don't forget very, very strong conviction for letting you day in a certain position. You not betray your boss or somebody where they expect much from you. You don't forget very strong person and not to somebody where get tendency for being corrupt. You know. So going back to the report, let me conclude again, Khadija, now that after I see the report, when I come back, I shake my head and say, well, now I don't confirm, say, President Kumar not ever touch Salome money. For me, I talk on a public now, I want to hold me by that one. I want to hold me responsible to the words. President Kumar, based on this report, President Kumar not touch nothing on Salome money. Because it's the fact them, they lay bare. If they're not for proof to we, me and you, they don't for proof that we the citizen, they don't for proof to we say it take money from the or it embezzle government money. Now this kind of funny reports, I need the pool say, oh, this man not make this man not make this man a 4.5 billion he make throughout in 10 years as legal earning. It's sad. It just make me confirm and conclude say then definitely this man not be mixed for anything. For all the talk binary, this man not be mixed for anything we get for do corruption. We don't see a lot of presidents them way when they command a power. With the what the accounts the way they go open, a foreign country them, with the everybody you understand, eh? But this man no will not area and they will not area matter the we say go open accounts, a foreign country will not say go buy Ulster America, they will not say go buy Ulster London, they say and the two also be in a salon for when he begin career as businessman to politician. Then two also they will get and then decides they will cheat, they will seize, it's just disgraceful, it's shameful, you know. Let them not talk out. Let President President Marabio look at and say, you don't blunder by himself, you don't blunder by me, you don't let me down, let me draw a report and go fix them. Honestly, I go back for say, this is a very good opportunity if they don't be misuse them the way they misuse and so. If they don't misuse them the way they misuse and so, this is a very good opportunity for them to fight corruption. And not be, you don't care whether you sponsor you try they take money that government give you, matter you, or not they take money give you. If you genuinely for fight corruption, not to politics, not to witch hunt, not to malice, not to tribalism, not to sectionalism, if you don't come and say, hey, I understand. Dennis Sadi, I understand. Musa Trawali, I understand. Sajusu, I understand. Matthew Gingi, now I'm beginning money trade, but now this is not time for us to turn the page. Me, if I don't go back, I'll go later and put a big I say, sorry, I make mistake. Why be there against you, presidency? Trust me, believe what I tell you. If I don't go back, I'll go later and put a big I say, forgive me. Because if I don't know, say, it's really genuine about the fight against corruption. But no, we don't know. What's in Sajusu Matidingi then contributes to Mother Day campaign. We don't know, so they pull them money then they. You understand? All of those, I can explain well. So what I say, again, now that you open the filibuster, you don't open the Pandora's box. You understand? You don't open the floodgate to seizure. Because you not go for the other. You like to say if you go for create one party system, you go for die. Somebody go for take over after you someday will belong to another party. Definitely. Then therefore do the same thing when you think say I mean I don't take the worst case scenario. So for me I say anything we do today, remember, say the payback will always come. The coin where you use and it will take pay you back. The coin where you go and shop and go spend and it will take pay you back. So for me it is yesterday was a sad day. Somebody texted me, you see Mr. I said, don't believe. When they launched the report, they say the weather go dark right away.
Wow.
I said, hey, my relationship. He said, no, say, Mr. I understand what they talk about. He said, like, what still like one being a salon, where they go dark.
Wow.
I said, really? Yes, this person, he tell me from Sierra Leone, he text me. I said, wow. He said, oh yes. He said, the weather go dark straight.
Hey, boy.
So people them, they pay attention to all the little things. This not citizens. This not Sierra Leone. These are people who live in Sierra Leone. These are people where they
it's just sad.
Very
sad. Very sad.
Khadija,
We pray for a peaceful salon.
Khadija, even when you go na Sagri Street, on a weekly basis, them man we get responsible shop na Sagri Street. They twist and turn with billions of euros on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. And you can't tell me say this one don't get business. You don't you understand? You can't tell me say na 4.5 billion. Come on, it's ridiculous. You understand? You make yourself funny. You make the report funny. You make everything look funny. You know, in the eyes of you yourself. Even in your supporters, there's the I'm going to say, if this not grounds for the whole man and they it's not over time. It just doesn't make sense. Then you go tell me, say, the host women will buy for what? God forbid, for that buy that house for $1 million. I don't care who's party na salon. That particular ocean is say $5 million. So what you do? You make that host they will go for Timapia now. If government not use that for other thing, it will not Timapia everlasting. We then confiscate them. Because nobody will tell you say they can't buy that house anymore. Because you don't put a price tag per them, you don't fit her. You know, not say that person will not come for come claiming a host did it. Maybe the person won't die or something. Then the host did it. You don't put a price tag and we don't fit the host. It's not for sale. Government will make anything from that host. So that make her say, true, not true. That is that.
Wow.
Line. And what we always fight for the truth. When I make me always say, that true we fight for, that true we keep. I will save you, I will help you, I will exonerate you in the future. Me just conclude say, then for me, and it's not if nothing as I do.
Thank you so much. Because we don't exceed 3 hours, we continue tomorrow, then we go focus more on the nitty-gritty of the white paper simultaneously with the handover notes, and then we go learn to the different opinion of Sierra Leoneans them. I want to give you the opportunity again for now you say anything when I last word, then I want to run 1 or 2 more things them with Sierra Leoneans them. I want to give me your last advice to the president, and the one that where they near him before we call it quits. I don't know if you get anything for say, sir.
I got plenty to say, but like you say, we can continue this
tomorrow. Definitely.
I don't think we will bring people then from the SFP side.
Yes.
You know, the SFP say,
yes.
You understand, eh?
Yes.
Now getting dialogue. For me, that's not democracy. Democracy will not get dialogue. Democracy will not get discussion. It's not a democracy. Nobody one-sided. Then we always
I don't know about other platform, but this platform is always for all Sierra Leonean. I stretch hand to all, but sometimes they would decide for honor the invitation, then I definitely bring them on board. Yeah, yes. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Finish up.
I think so that one day. And let we continue for Lex Salon. Let we continue for tax corruption. You know, trust me, let we continue for engage, you know, in meaningful discussion. Honestly, I don't know what this report the driver. Today the lawyers and they ask, say where they report. And what people then believe now that they report when the commissioners make not to report the white paper. It didn't variance with the white paper. The commissioner they report, then they believe say it didn't variance with the white paper because the commissioner reports like you this again, Kalia. The system may be set in Sierra Leone. Anybody when a minister will then teach now unless the government say he misappropriate or he siphon money, na possibly greedy, or na possibly be ready for flout the law. Because how they build the system, Alfara Mara and Dr. Samura Kamara, how they build the system, na permanent secretaries, directors, and other professional heads at the ministry that they're responsible for sign contract, that they're responsible for manage budget, that they're responsible. You understand? Like the permanent secretary, in fact, they already to point where in like the float controller. So what are people and they?
Yes, that's another thing. The permanent secretary.
Said them when they left the panel report. When you bring them all the you understand? So it just make the whole thing look funny because if the float controller not sign for say this money for promote, you know they come out to go to that minister. No way. You understand? So people that believe say a lot of things that they implicate people that are very close to President Leo, we make for show the report. They don't have to make the report public. But I think this will be a call of every well-meaning Sierra Leonean. Whether you're against President Kuruma or you're against Dr. Samura, call on the president and the government to make public the report. For me, now that time we will begin from look at the report critically and look at the thing that wait inside it and compare them to the white paper if they match. It's that simple.
Well stated, sir. Thank you so much for your time. And definitely you will join. I don't know if I'm going to get another civil society activist tomorrow, but if not, I don't know if you're okay for join the other political party heads them for coming. Now we continue on with the topic.
Yeah, no problem. As long as a mix,
Yes.
Mix, good. Yes. Good.
Sound like a plan. Thank you so much, sir, once again for your time.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
God bless you.
I mean, and you as well. Okay. So now, I send a message to His Excellency the President, and then I want to share some, until we can always remind ourselves now. So it's words of advice, when it comes to humility, when it comes to when you're in the position of leader, and when it comes as a whole, for remind ourselves say everything at this one of vanity. The one with the above we, not God Almighty. So His Excellency the President, President Bill, with him me go say for now we get a country a place so many things so many things for now we recollect of things and we remind we say we as human beings we're not designed to be perfect. We're not perfect, including myself here, including you as a president. Some areas in there where you don't make mistake. Some areas in there where you don't get alleged incidents them from even your political party members them. At the end of the day, I believe say those things, any mistakes or negative can be turned into positive. Even with the passports, it was something that you even confess yourself. But I do believe that when you love the country and you come for leave a legacy, many go look and say at that time you were young, but now you are a full-grown adult, and from those experiences you can learn and become a better you. I do believe say there's so many evidence them way the then president Dr. Anis Baikoma for being taken into consideration and hold a lot of people accountable, including the one that will be they talk a lot, like in the example of Alpha Side where it puts na the how you call the handover note where unfortunately I'm not able to get to today, but most likely we'll get to and tomorrow, God willing. But it look and say because of national cohesion, there's a lot of things them where it will shy away from. The reason being, if you go begin to say all the SLPP them, if they go and arrest them, try for hold them accountable, try for bring them to the book wherein money where them be accused of in the example of the alleged 18 millions and many other I believe say not for me born good picking. If in the case of where you been standing in convoy say, you know, they move all the thing in the where it go be considered as treason, if you been hold you accountable enough for being bring peace in the country, and the list goes on. Also, I can always say great goodness and I'm fine. It like you vex purpose we don't do good for you. It best you just stay quiet but not mean bad for them. What I mean by that, many know that, and even Alpha Side will make reference of that when you come from United Kingdom. I can always say even gets the options for say if even you sacrifice, you give yourself, you volunteer yourself, you can say no, I'm not, no thank you, but it decides say bipartisan approach, it could be a success for a country. And not only that, it trust enough say and they give you substantial amount of funding for that you go help with brothers and sisters and at the south for educate them and sensitize them with the Ebola epidemic. So all that they do that. Then secondly, many know that when it comes to you day-to-day activity, whether it's lodging, the car, the house, all that, they make sure say you live a comfortable life. So that's alone enough for them say this was so now we learn from this. What don't happen, let bygone be bygone. Not saying that people should not be held accountable, but look and say I don't know, I think I'm Machiavelli or so, where it come in a new administration. I forget the country name, but I remember the president's name, where it look and say the example will start with the young cabinet members them, whatever corruption we don't happen for that and start a new page for kill corruption. Any one of in cabinet members that will go against waiting they don't put to the table, it will start from there. But going backwards will be a witch hunt. The example of retired Major Paulo, you see the how you call the evidence there. 6 months time, 6 times then call back and forth until get this problem where unfortunately can deny head. So I they look and say, never mind, we'll not share the same religion, but I want God we they serve. I believe so at the end of the day, and I hope and pray that one day you will go now you bed and remember say salon is for all. For now you say go get peace of mind, now your family will get peace of mind, now you go able for enjoy whatever wealth you they get from salon today. That's not me humble submission, and I they say that with humility, with no malice and no top of bad, because of course you don't be me leader, and then secondly in a big for me whether it's the former president, you now, but again for now where we gear towards national cohesion, where we gear towards shine away from the pain and the sorrow, where we don't get to that country, then let God make we not ever go back there. Let God make we always remember we can bind we together when at the green, white, and blue. I want to leave you with couple videos there where they play. Then from there, I will come back and call it a wrap. And I thank you once again.
Be very, very careful, because power and wealth, money and influence has expiry date. I'm telling you, I have seen people in great power with wealth, access and influence, and like the psalmist said, he said, I've seen a man like a mighty tree with many branches, and he said, I went, I came back, and I diligently sought for him, and behold, he was not. So when you are privileged than others, praise him, worship him. When you are privileged than others, take heed and be careful how you treat people, especially if you have children. If you have children, if you are people you care about and you love, be very careful how you treat the children of others. Be very careful how you handle others, because in this life you reap what you have sown. It's just a matter of time and it will catch up with you. And sometimes you say, what have I done? And why me? And why me? It has everything to do with how you handle the affairs and the issues of others. When you were privileged, when you had power, when you had access, and when you were in the position to do as you please with the power and the office and the position and the resources given to you, did you use it for good or for evil? Did you use it to settle scores? Or you use it to the destruction, the hurt, and the detriment of others? Be careful, because time changes. I've seen very powerful people in my life who were so powerful in their time and in their days that even when you call them, they won't return your call. They give you their numbers and you call them and they will never return your call, because they are very important, because everybody is calling them. And I've seen them, their time comes and it passes away so quick, like the grass withers and like the flower fades. And suddenly they begin to return your calls. And I say in myself, is it the same person returning my call who never did return my call before? Because what made him who he is and the things he derived his confidence and audacity in, it has been taken by another and is regarded like nothing and is despised and looked down upon, and all the privileges are stripped and taken away from him. Ladies and gentlemen, David was a man after God's own heart, because he never forgot from whence he came. He remembered that he was a shepherd boy. He remembered that he was a nobody. He remembered that he wasn't qualified by God, qualified him. He remembered from whence he came, and he did things not just with what he said, but with what he did as time goes on. You will see he did things to establish gratitude, to make statement of appreciation that God, I will never take for granted the things you have done for me, how far you have brought me. I will never give you anything that is cheap and it is common.
There was a former Undersecretary of Defense who was invited to give a speech at a large conference, about 1,000 people. And he was standing on the stage with his cup of coffee and a styrofoam cup, giving his prepared remarks with his PowerPoint behind him. And he took a sip of his coffee and he smiled and he looked down at the coffee. And then he went off script. And he said, you know, last year I spoke at this exact same conference. Last year I was still the Undersecretary. And when I spoke here last year, they flew me here business class. And when I arrived at the airport, there was somebody waiting for me to take me to my hotel. And they took me to my hotel and they had already checked me in and they just took me up to my room. And the next morning I came downstairs and there was someone waiting in the lobby to greet me, and they drove me to this here same venue. They took me through the back entrance and took me into the green room and handed me a cup of coffee in a beautiful ceramic cup. He says, I'm no longer the Undersecretary. I flew here coach. I took a taxi to my hotel and I checked myself in. When I came down the lobby this morning, I took another taxi to this venue. I came in the front door and found my way backstage, and when I asked someone, "Do you have any coffee?" he pointed to the coffee machine in the corner, and I poured myself a cup of coffee into this here styrofoam cup. He says the lesson is, the ceramic cup was never meant for me. It was meant for the position I held. I deserve a styrofoam cup. Remember this. As you gain fame, as you gain fortune, as you gain position and seniority, people will treat you better. They will hold doors open for you. They will get you a cup of tea and coffee without you even asking. They will call you sir and ma'am, and they will give you stuff. None of that stuff is meant for you. That stuff is meant for the position you hold. It is meant for the level that you have achieved of leader or success or whatever you want to call it. But you will always deserve a styrofoam cup. Remember that. Remember that lesson of humility and gratitude. You can accept all the free stuff. You can accept all the perks. Absolutely, you can enjoy them. But just be grateful for them and know that they're not for you. I remember getting off the Acela. I took the Acela from New York to Washington, D.C. And I got off the train like everybody else. And I was walking down the platform like everyone else. And I walked past General Norty Schwartz, who used to be the Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force, the head of the Air Force. And here I did, you see a guy in a suit, schlepping his own suitcase down the platform just like me. And just a couple months ago, he was flying on private jets and he had an entourage, and other people carried his luggage. But he no longer held the position, and so now he got to drag his own suitcase. And never did it sort of remind me more that none of us deserve the perks that we get. We all deserve a styrofoam cup.
Talk about the relationship between money and power. They're very uncomfortable bedfellows because the one normally seeks the other. What is the point of having a lot of money if you have no power? So very quickly, rich people start trying to translate that wealth into power. They start cozying up to politicians. They start trying to be politicians. And the opposite is also true. What is the point of having all this power and you're poor? So politicians start trying to monetize their power into wealth. And that is where corruption starts. So the relationship between money and power really is one that, if not managed well, destroys countries. And it's a difficult relationship because the one inevitably leads to the other. And how do you manage that? We face that challenge now. I think as First Lady, the question I always get asked is, how are you going to make sure that your business interests don't conflict with your existing role? What my husband and I have decided is we're going to do declarations. It's not required of me, it's not required of him, but we will declare all of our assets. And in that way, people can know what you own, where it is. I don't want to hide through proxies. And they can see where the wealth that you have has been created and not have to suspect you each time you buy expensive things that you stole it from the people. So declaration of assets, transparency, and communication are key issues in leadership. It's a double-edged sword. I don't necessarily want everybody to know what I own and how much it's worth, but I guess there's a bigger price to leadership at times. But it also comes down to a personal discomfort.
And I welcome back. I hope saying I'll enjoy all the wonderful words of advice, food for thought. And I thank you once again for in a time where in a take for be part of the platform. Tomorrow we continue and we try to get to the step-by-step the detail of the white paper, also simultaneously with the handover notes. And I thank you. I want to take this opportunity also for thank the civil society activist, Mr. Wewese. We stop by shortly just for joint voice with we here today. And I thank you once again. And God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. And God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. And God bless the United States of America. And God bless everywhere where Sierra Leoneans find themselves. Until next time, this is Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. May God continue to bring peace in our country. Bye.
Them say then they fixed in them make we wait. From where them born we dey no more, we dey wait. Just dey wait. Government they come and go and left we pan debate. Big debate. Another generation don't come me sweep and the way. Welcome to the way. You still no say na boom bamboo you late. Hey, you late. Even though man them I chair pan altin. When I say altin I mean altin. All these in them where they happen na the country. We cherry I pan altin. Body man they no begin them bagbati. They don't begin them bagbati. Do ya una no left hand bagbati back take. Una let go be your body. Body man they no begin them bagbati. They don't begin them bagbati. Now so then go left back and sabi time done then fail with your body. All man don't stand that is attention. All man want make impression. What see me go say? Watch me back, look how I becky. Tomorrow yon we don't know. Today on the team on. Everybody waiting for the miracle like hot colorist na fire. Hey, we dey be a no more but enough funny.